when it comes to having safe sex. But what if there is a place where these teens can go without being judged? What if there is a place for these teens to go without having to be afraid? What if there was a place for these teens to go to ask the questions they want to ask and receive birth control or health care that they need in order to practice safe sex? Well, there is. Planned Parenthood has been around for 100 years and is the most trusted healthcare provider that believes in health care for all, with no expectations or limitations in those they provide services for. Planned Parenthood is a nonprofit organization that runs off of donations, and that's where you can help. Planned Parenthood is asking for donations, no matter how big, no matter how small. Anything can help. According to Planned Parenthood's fact sheet, the teenage pregnancy rate in the United States has declined to its lowest level in the past 40 years due to the increased access of birth control Planned Parenthood has helped provide. You can go online and donate at www.plannedparenthood.org, or you can also call our national toll-free call center at 1-800-798-7092. That's 1-800-789-7092. Go online or call today to make a donation and help be a part of the cause for health care for all. Planned Parenthood. Care no matter what.
In 2015, California entered one of the worst droughts in state history. The LA Times reported that snowpack would only meet 5% of California's needs, and every resident in the state would have to cut back on water usage by 35% to meet the bare minimum requirements for sustainable reserves. The reservoirs were running dry, and time was running out. In a stunning turn of events, 2016 saw what many called the storm of the century hit California. Over the course of 2 weeks, the storm dropped enough water to make up for much of the drought in the previous year. The citizens became complacent. Individuals stopped switching to drought-resistant lawns. They stopped shortening their showers. They kept the water running while they brushed their teeth. This last week, however, California saw one of its largest reserves devastated. The Oroville Dam began to have issues, and though it did not completely collapse, it began leaking 100,000 cubic feet of water per second. This is a wake-up call. The war is not over. The degrading of California's infrastructure combined with overusage of water could culminate in millions going without the basic needs for life. Do your part. Conserve water. Contact your legislators to let them know you're keeping your eyes on our water infrastructure, and you expect them to.
She's 16 years old, but she looks like she's 25, wearing a tight dress she'll rip off in a shady motel room. She thought this was the life she wanted. She got the money, the clothes, the attention from her pimp, but she also can't imagine living without prostitution. She doesn't think she's a victim. She thinks she's in control, but she can't leave. When she's no longer the sexy little girl they want, she may only see one way out. This girl lived here in Stockton. She's one of thousands of girls in the city who has been sex trafficked but doesn't see herself as a victim. Call the local Stockton Human Trafficking Hotline to report any tips at 209-948-1911. If you see anything, say something. You will be saving a life. And if you are this girl, there is hope. Call 209-948-1911. You are worth so much more.
You're listening to Tiger Radio.
Clear.
The pulse of Pacific.
Good afternoon, Tiger fans. Welcome into the beautiful confines of, actually, we're on the road in University of San Francisco, the Benedetti Diamond Complex, as the San Francisco Dons were nice enough to allow us to have a nice seat here right behind home plate as the Pacific Tigers coming in to take on the USF Dons. The rubber match of this matchup, the Pacific Tigers were able to win at home. A way to cap off their homestand is they had a winning record at home and come in at 18-33, 6-20 in the West Coast Conference, while the USF Dons looking to get above 500, currently 28-28, 10-16 in the West Coast Conference. We will give you a little bit of the West Coast Conference standings as they do apply to not to these teams, but at least to whoever may be listening in, wanting to know the scores. And BYU and Gonzaga tied right head-to-head at 20-7. BYU will see the number 1 seed due to the head-to-head matchups. BYU so far has been able to take care of the conference standings, and Gonzaga being second. Loyola Marymount has a chance to jump into the second spot, but they have to win later on today. Loyola Marymount currently at third. St. Mary's and San Diego knotted up in that matchup, both at 17-9 in the West Coast Conference play, and at any point in time, one of those two teams are vying for that Final Four spot. Currently, right now, St. Mary's is in that spot. So, San Diego currently playing Pepperdine. No score as we know of right at the moment. We'll kind of, like I made the mistake yesterday, I'll refresh the scores just to make sure that I'm not losing my mind too much. It is scoreless currently between San Diego and Pepperdine. St. Mary's is at home taking on Santa Clara. San Diego's at home too. Santa Clara and St. Mary's currently no score. Loyola Marymount and Portland currently no score. So we're all keeping an eye on this one, on those games, and of course today's game, Pacific taking on San Francisco. Pacific still has one more game on the road, and that will be at UC Davis tomorrow. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Let's give a recap on what happened the last couple of nights. We'll start obviously first with the game in Klein Family Field over in Pacific at Stockton. And the Tigers won 9-5. It was arguably one of the top freshmen in the conference, being James Free, had I would say I'd be understating it if I said a solid night, but he was 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. The kid has just been absolutely ripping up the conference and really just ripping up the NCAA of every team he's seen. And James Free is just the freshman catcher, switch hitting catcher, well over batting around 350 this season. Actually, after yesterday's game, he was batting 355. So a freshman year, kind of wrapping things up, just has absolutely torn it up this season. Danny Mayer went 2 for 4, had a home run, drove in 2, and in his senior year, his final home game, it was obviously the emotions were running high for him and his family. It took a little bit of time to talk to him later on in that final interview, and taking a look at this ballpark here in San Francisco, the Fair Territories, 300 down the right field line and 330 down the left field line. The brand new ballpark here for University of San Francisco, and has a unique shape to it, as far as just like over at Pacific, they have that little bit of a Green Monster style down the left field side, and this one is more down the right field side. No wall, but it does have an outline of where the home run would need to cross in order for it to be considered a home run. Otherwise, it would be considered a double, more like a outfield netting across it. So very interesting, but very nice nevertheless. But back to the games yesterday, Pacific lost in a matchup 10-3. Real quick, back to the 9-5 victory for the Tigers. It was not only was it the hitting that came through as they scored 4 runs in the first inning, but 3 runs in the third, and then consecutive 1 runs in the 7th and 8th inning, while San Francisco had the 1 run in the third and then 2 in consecutive 7th and 8th inning. The Tigers had sent up Justin Giovannone. Giovannone, looking for his first win of the season, went 5 innings, 8 hits, 1 run, and that run not being earned. Walked 2, struck out 3. Shreve came in 2 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. Only 3 of those runs would be earned. And then Vince Arobio came in for the save, his 7th of the season, and went 2 innings, which is normal for us to see him do. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in the save. So Justin Giovannone went now 1-3 on the season. Vince Arobio adds to his incredible senior season, as he is now still the program leader in saves. Back to Saturday's game, it was a 10-3 victory. The game was held at 3 o'clock, and Pacific went on the board first with the Sandri base hit that drove in a run, and Sandri was moved into the 5 spot, which is unique to see. It was good to see Jimmy Boris back out there in center field. Keaton Glover came in and filled in really nicely over the last couple of games without Boris being available. And Schultz, actually nice to see him getting back into the groove of things. Went 3 for 4, as well as Kevin Saundry 2 for 4. Boris went 1 for 5, struck out once. Matt Tarantino 0 for 3. Did have an RBI and a sac fly. The umpires have arrived. That was our bit of a delay due to the fact of traffic, and that was actually a little bit of my little extent too. There was a race of some and I apologize, I'm not familiar with the race, but there was that going on that slowed things down here today considerably, about a half hour. So in one hand, it was good that I was able to make it here in time before first pitch, but on the same side, it was I'm sure it was frustrating because I know that everybody would love to get this game done and get ready for the off season. Joe Slater is over at the home plate, exchanging the lineup card, and along with the coaching staff. And I believe that is the head coach, Nino Giarratano. So that is back to Saturday. Cooper Casad came in, pitched 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, all of them being earned and a home run. And Ed O'Bannon came in, gave up a couple hits and a couple runs in 2 innings, followed by Miles Haddad and Bailey Hansen. All were your pitchers, but the losing pitcher Cooper Casad came in and now 2 and 5. Parker Scott went 4 2/3, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, and 3 earned, struck out 5, while Benji Post came in. He gets the win. He went in 4 1/3, pitching 4 1/3, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, struck out 4. So he gets the win for San Francisco. He improves his record to 7-2. Today's game, we will see, of course, the talented left-hander Ricky Reynoso. 3.82 ERA, 5-6 on the season. This will be the 15th start in 68 in the third innings pitched. He's given up 69 hits, 29 earned runs, has walked 23, and struck out 52. For Ricky, he only have to look back to his last start where he went 8 innings, struck out 9 in that game against Santa Clara. He'll be taking on a junior right-hander, Grant Goodman, who's 3 4 in the season. This will be his 14th start, 74 in the third innings pitched, 75 hits, 40 earned runs, 26 walks, and 47 strikeouts. So he will be a pitch-to-contact hitter. He will probably pitcher, and he will probably try and get a lot of ground balls to let his defense do work. San Francisco is in their traditional black home uniforms with the yellow San Francisco across their chest and numbers in yellow with a white trim, white pants. Tigers wearing the away orange and gray pants. The umpires for today, Mike Lusky will be behind home plate. Rob Hansen will be at first base, and Billy Hayes will be over at third. They are also honoring a lot of the seniors. 6 seniors in this starting lineup for the San Francisco Dons. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be curious on what this lineup will look like next year, as they have quite a few guys now going to be moving on to hopefully bigger and better things. So they're currently at home plate, scheduled for 1:30. The original game was scheduled at 1 o'clock. Once again, because of the traffic, it was moved back to 1:30 because the umpires were obviously having their times trying to get here as well. USF over in there at the respective dugouts, still hanging out, waiting to take the field, getting the last few minutes instructions. Not sure what the rest of the delay may be, but they're maybe doing is that what I was kind of listening in was they may be waiting for their starting pitcher, Grant Goodman. Due to the delay, they were not warming him up like a regular time just because of the delay. So they are waiting for him to finish up his warm-ups before he'll take the mound, and that is what the delay sounds like has taken effect. Tigers are starting 2 seniors today. Of course, they're starting, just 2 seniors. It'll be McKay Koisian will be actually in right field today. No Danny Mayer. And then the other senior will be Blake Berry. He'll be in left, a position that he's held into for quite a while. And actually, center fielder Keaton Glover going to make his 28th start of the season. The center fielder, freshman. He's looking to finish up his season strong. Now we see the pitcher and the catcher, Dominic Morolio, come in, and looks like we're about ready to get things going here now. We'll update in the West Coast Conference. Santa Clara is beating St. Mary's 1-0. That's currently the only score that has been shown so far in the West Coast Conference, as the rest of obviously with our game here has not started yet. Portland, LMU still no score currently either. Pepperdine, San Diego, no scores. So a lot of them honoring their seniors for the last time as well, right before they get started here. And there they go. The San Francisco Dons are now taking the field. And we will give you the lineups here in just a moment, because the national anthem will get started here. We'll step aside and then give you the starting lineups.
Please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, let's get some baseball started here. We're finally ready to go here. It's been, like I said earlier, it was a little bit of a traffic delay, and that was not just for myself, but it was also for the umpires. Let's give you the rundown of the Pacific Tigers, as they will, being the visiting team, which is really rare for me to say, but it'll be Kevin Sondry, Matt Tarantino, James Free, Ryan Schulch, Carter Hayes moving up to the 5 spot today, Blake Berry, Lucas Halstead, McKay Koisian, and Keaton Glover, rounding up the batting order for the Pacific Tigers. In the outfield for the USF Dons, it'll be from left to right. Harrison Bruce will be in left. Center field, Matt Sinatro, in and right, Dan James. The infield, Alan Smoot at third. Shortstop, Nick Giarratano. The second baseman, Michael Perry, and Manny Ramirez Jr. at first. Starting battery will be Dominic Morello. He'll be the catcher. And the starting pitcher, Grant Goodman. 4.84, 3-4 on the season. 4.84 ERA. This will be his 14th start in 74 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 75 hits, 41 runs, 40 earned runs, 26 walks, and 47 strikeouts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the base coaches for Pacific. At first base, number 5, Joe Slater.
The
Third base, number 37.
Pacific Tigers led by head coach Mike New in his second season, Noah Jackson and Michael Rubenkamp, the assistant coaches, as well as Joe Slater, the volunteer assistant coach. Meet Kevin Soundry to lead things off here for the Pacific Tigers. Soundry batting .293 on the season. Has driven in 17 RBIs, which is nice to see a typical leadoff hitter.
And over at third base, Mike Rubenkamp.
First pitch in there for a strike.
Game time temperature, 75 degrees.
Comes in at 138. Game time temperature at 75 degrees. So we're underway.
Quickly working away. Swing and a miss for strike 2 as Grant Goodman
Finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
so far early on looking to work quickly.
Sandry here yesterday hit a big
Sandry, the sophomore third baseman,
2 for 4.
actually will be
2 runs driven.
the second baseman today, as that was outside for ball 1.
1 and 2 to Sandry.
A little bit of a unique look here as I'm standing pretty much no more than 10 feet away from home plate and in the bottom part of the press box as that pitch is lifted right side foul. Count will remain 1 and 2. Sandry stepping out for a second. Now he step back in and looks in at the 1-2. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Sandry goes down. Grant Goodman, the junior
Number 10,
from Burlingame, California,
Tarantino.
getting things early on here.
Sandry out on strike.
That'll bring up Matt Tarantino. Tarantino right at 300 on the season, his 47th start. As the first pitch he sees is a high fastball, and it goes up high for strike 1 as Tarantino went swinging away.
7 home runs, 29 RBI.
The outfield playing straight away. And the 0-1. And that is lifted
Ball skied off
down the right field line.
Foul ground. Should be
And stepping around and having to back up a little bit as he almost lost in the sun was Manny Ramirez Jr.,
foul out on the
but makes the play, and there's quickly 2 away. James Free, the switch-hitting catcher, stepping in and
28. Catcher.
will come in from the left side today to face the right-handed pitcher Goodman. And what more can you say is one of the leaders in the WCC stepping in here with home runs. As the first pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1. Stepping in here and talking to him, and he's extremely humble as the 0-1 is in there for strike 2, taken all the way, was Free. Extremely humble was Free as he was impressed on how he talked a little bit about the season that he's had, and yet
1 for 3 with a run scored.
he feels he could have done better. The 0-2, and that's up high and outside for ball 1.
A good run of this one. Watch this one slide outside. It's 1 and 2.
So extremely humble is Free, and he just kind of, as much as I try to have him talk about himself, the 1-2 is outside for ball 2.
Hickey a bit high. 2 and 2.
He's talking about just his whole demeanor, and he just kind of said that, yeah, I can get better defensively, I can get better hitting, I can get better. I'm not a.
2 balls, 2 strikes to
The 1-2 is swung on, missed, and will drop into the ground and out of the catcher's glove. Throw on to first, and that'll end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Goodman, and we'll head to the bottom of the first. No score as we on the Pacific Tiger Digital Network.
First inning after half inning of play. It's the Tigers nothing and yours. San Francisco.
San Francisco SPCA, a non-profit animals shelter which is to save and protect animals, provide care and treatment. In 2015, the leave release rate for the entire city of San Francisco reached 93%. We imagine a community where every animal has a loving home, where animals don't need the support of San Francisco's rescues and shelters. The SFSPCA is an independent, local non-profit that receives no government funding and is not part of any national organization. We rely on your support. Come to join us. We can't do this without you. You can go to www.sfspca.org to donate or contact us 415-554-3000.
Back here at Benedetti Diamond is the USF Dons coming up to plate here into the bottom of the first. It'll be. Let's give you the starting batting order for now for the USF Dons, as it'll be led by head coach Nino Giarratano in his 19th season, Troy Nakamura, the associate head coach and recruiting coordinator in his 18th season, the pitching coach Matt Heiserman in his second season, and volunteer assistant coach Steve Demikas. Be leading off Matt Sinatro, Nico Giarratano, Alan Smoot, Dominic Morolio, Michael Perry, Manny Ramirez Jr., Dan James, Aaron Ping, and Harrison Bruce, rounding up the batting order for the USF Dons. The first pitch by Ricky Reynoso is up high, right across the letters for ball one.
Way inside, 1-0 to Sinatro.
Sinatro stepping in from the left side batter's box, wearing the black jersey, yellow numbers, San Francisco across their chest, the white pants, as the 1-0 is grounded foul towards the USF Dons dugout and goes to 1-1.
Against the left-handed throwing Reynoso.
Reynoso pitching from the stretch as he typically does.
And well back in the box. So even as a starter, one of those guys that's a bit more familiar working out of the stretch, so not
the 1-1 is writ in towards Tarantino, throw on to first, and that will be out number one.
Right after shortstop, 1 out.
Batting second.
Reynoso from San Diego, California, went to Bonita Vista High School. I will get it right eventually. I've been doing this for a couple years now, and I still can't get it right, it seems like.
Pepperdine and San Diego, nothing in the second. And Portland out in front of
We'll give you the outfield for the Tigers here in just a moment, as stepping in, Nico Giarratano steps in from the right side to face the left-handed Reynoso. The first pitch is lifted. Reynoso will actually give it a run, and it'll go foul. The outfield for the Tigers in left will be, it'll be Blake Berry. In center will be Keaton Glover. Right field, McKay Koisian. The infield, Carter Hayes at third. Shortstop, Matt Tarantino. The second baseman, Kevin Sondry. And at first, Ryan Schultz. Reynoso on the mound. The first pitch is fouled right across the bricks. Actually, that goes to 0-2. And the catcher, James Free.
First 4 batters in the lineup for USF today have all played.
Nico Giarratano, the switch hitting batter, comes in once again from the right batter's box to face the left-handed Ricky Reynoso. 5-6 on the season. The 0-2 is low for ball one. Reynoso you have to look back to his last couple of starts really to see where he's truly been. He's pitched well in his last 4 starts. Has pitched quality innings for the Tigers. So 1-2 is on the way, and that's outside and low for ball 2. We'll go to 2-2 and
risen the count even now.
Count goes even. And Reynoso, completely different than his opposite pitcher of Grant Goodman. Goodman was working quickly. Reynoso works a little bit slower as the 2-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Giarratano down on strikes. 2 down.
Batting third.
And that's kind of going to be something to kind of keep your eye on I'll keep my eye on for you, as the Tigers always seem to have a little bit of a struggle to score for him until about the 5th inning, which he'll put things on until about then, and then the Tigers were able to score. And I just have to look back to Portland. Portland, he was waiting until the 6th inning where they scored 2 runs, and he pitched 8 innings then, and then over there in Santa Clara. As the first pitch is swung on right towards Tarantino, and a liner straight to him. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So the Tigers put USF down 1-2-3. We will head back. We'll head to the top of the second. No score on the Tiger Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, support for USF.
Eric Easy E. Wright. Irvin Magic Johnson. These are just two of the many people who could not escape the horrible disease known as HIV. AIDS.gov calculated that 1.2 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, and 1 in every 8 of them don't even know that they are HIV positive. It is time for everyone to go to their local doctor and get tested. Let's do what we can to make sure we continue the fight against HIV, so that we are no longer hearing sounds like this.
I don't want to die yet!
But instead hearing sounds like this.
I love you, Daddy!
Listen to this message. Please don't ignore. Go get tested, and the life you will save is yours.
Back here at Benedetti Diamond as the USF Dons were retired 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. The Tigers went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first as well. So it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters. It'll be Schultz, Hayes, and Berry.
Their head coach, Mike New.
Schultz had that 3-hit game yesterday and is now batting .291.
The 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Tigers.
The first pitch he sees is fouled back to go to 0-1.
Hayes and Berry. Schultz yesterday was.
So Coach New putting a little bit of a different spin on his lineup today is no Danny Mayer. The 0-1 is fouled back as well to go to 0-2.
5 for 8 with 2 runs and 1 RBI in the weekend.
Can you spell her last name, please?
Carter Hayes will be on deck, and that's what's the one of the unique, strange changes. Hayes usually in the bottom part of the batting order, now batting 5th today. Getting a feel for his freshman players as the 0-2 is swung on and into right field. It'll be dropped for a base hit. And so Schultz's series continues to be hot, and it'll bring up Carter Hayes.
Number 3, third baseman Carter Hayes.
Tigers are starting 3 freshmen today, 2 sophomore, as one of them is the pitcher, and a couple juniors. So Carter Hayes will step in, and that is lifted foul down the right field line, and we'll do it at 0-1. Carter Hayes must feel fairly familiar in this kind of territory. He's from Carmel, California, so he's used to, albeit the further south type of bay, but knows the Bay Area. Here's the 0-1, and that's in there for strike 2. Hayes was looking a split in a off-speed pitch, got him kind of off guard. Hayes, the freshman third baseman, in his 12th start. It's the 0-2. That's right up the middle. The diving catch, and it is made by the second baseman, Perry. Pays the hit away from Hayes. Hayes is starting to swing the bat a lot better, though. Albeit he's batting 128. He's had a few hits over the last couple of games, so he's starting to look a little bit better and a little bit more comfortable. That brings up Blake Berry. Berry, the left fielder, batting .258, will step in his senior year. Simi Valley, California. It's one of his final 2 games. The first pitch is up high for ball 1.
Ball 1 for good. Now 1 out with 1 on the base path.
Schultz over at first with 1 away. With Berry coming in from the right side batter's box. Goodman in the stretch. He looks, he deals. That's inside and low, ball 1.
2 balls and and no strike. D.H. Halstead would be next. Goodman could get out of the inning if he could get a ground ball to one of the
Infield in double play depth. The outfield playing straight away.
Smoot playing in a bit more towards
The 0-1, and that's up high. Actually, that was ball 3. Excuse me.
Goodman sailed through the first, laboring a bit more here in the second inning.
Goodman looks in. The 3-0. And as expected, the bat stays on the shoulder, and it is called for strike 1. For the Dons, it'll be Morello, Perry, and Ramirez, the 4-5-6 hitters, due up in the bottom of the second.
Here's the 3-1.
3-1 by Goodman is swung on and right over towards right center field. That will get down towards the wall. It actually falls off the center fielder's glove. Barry will stand in second. And the Tigers have something going here with 2 on and only 1 out for Lucas Halstead. A stand-up double by Barry.
Which allows Barry to get to second.
Oh, they're going to call that a base hit and an E8. Excuse me.
Good position, second and third, with just 1 out for the D.H. Halstead.
Batting 7th.
And I think they called that an error on the center fielder because it fell off his glove. If he cleaned it,
Don's played errorless baseball yesterday, but
if he would have clearly grabbed it, it would have been runners on the corners probably.
second inning today.
Schultz went to third as the first pitch to Halstead is low for ball 1. Halstead has had a struggle this year, one of the conference leaders in strikeouts, but also one of the up there in the conference in walks as well. So
Corner infielders creep in.
he's had his tough times. He's actually now at 61 strikeouts, but with 2 runners on here, he has a chance to do some damage. The 1-0 is in there for strike 1 on the inside corner.
Infield has Halstead played as a strict pull hitter with Perry, the second baseman, almost over right behind second base. He's not far from second base, but interesting alignment is the outfield is straight away.
1-1 is inside for ball 2, excuse me. The infield is slightly too for Halstead to pull with the second baseman Perry almost I'm directly lined up with the second base, so he's probably about a good 3 steps to his left from the second base bag. Still playing regular depth, the 2-1, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Goodman had a breaking ball that Halstead has had his trouble with this season.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at
2-2. That is lifted and fouled back.
The count stays at 2 and
Count remains 2-2.
Goodman would love to strike out here. If Halstead could
On deck, McKay Koisian. Koisian having a struggle this senior year. This is only his 4th start of the season. He's appeared in 22 games, but mostly as defensive relief. Coming in the right fielder as the 2-2 is right at the pitcher. Knocks the glove off of the pitcher Goodman. That will score 1. And then he's got to hurry up, and there's going to score 2. There was a little bit of a delay, and a delayed throw allowed Barry to score. It knocked Goodman's glove off of his hand. And a base hit. Barry was delayed, but Halstead, you got to get some of those lucky hits sometimes, and he got that lucky hit, drive in 2. Was going to drive in 1, but now it is 2-0 Tigers. And for McKay Koisian to step in and coming in from the left side, and Tigers leading 2-0 with Halstead now on first and only 1 out still. Ground ball foul as it now count moves up to 1-1.
Still just 1 out in the inning.
Goodman looking in.
Ball was hit hard. The Hayes out was a liner. It was plucked by Perry. So Tigers have all struck.
And you actually think about it, Hayes may have had a base hit here too. Is that it? Ground ball towards the first base side. Throw on to second. It's the only opportunity that they're going to have as Ramirez threw on towards Giratano to get the force out.
fielder's choice.
So fielder's choice for Koisian, and that'll bring up Keaton Glover. Glover has had a
Number 4.
better time at the plate,
Center fielder Keaton Glover.
but not known for his hitting. Is more or less in for his defense.
Held on by Ramirez.
But if he can get that bat going, it'll make for a successful freshman year. As the first pitch, runner goes on the play, down to second, throw on is in time, and that'll end the inning. So the Tigers get 2. We head to the bottom of the second. Tigers lead 2-0 to the Dons here on the Tiger Digital Network.
In the top of the second for the Tigers, 2 runs.
Statistics show that there are more than 500,000 homeless people in the United States. 500,000 who will not have a roof over their heads, not have a warm bed to fall asleep in, and not know where their next meal will come from. Over 2,000 of them live in our backyard of the greater Stockton area in San Joaquin County. Few are aware of their struggles. The Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity at the University of the Pacific and Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs will be holding a homelessness awareness event from April 12th through the 14th. During this time, the men of Pike will be experiencing the life of a homeless person by sleeping outdoors, only receiving food by donation, and raising money for local shelters and food banks. Mayor Tubbs will be speaking to the school and addressing this issue of homelessness in Stockton. Donations can be made to Pike's Hit of Reality through check, cash, and card. Every dollar raised will go back into your Stockton community so that someone will know that they won't be falling asleep hungry tonight. This message is brought to you by the Pi Kappa Alpha Fraternity, Kappa Nu Chapter, and Pacific Tiger Radio.
Top 2 here at Benedetti Diamond is the Tigers leading 2-0 in this West Coast Conference matchup off of a 2-run base hit by Lucas Halstead, and that helps out Ricky Reynoso here as he steps in now with a 2-0 lead.
4, 5, 6 hitters.
But he'll be facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Morelio, Perry, and Ramirez.
From the stretch. More of a
And
deliberate warfare than Goodman, really.
the right-handed batter steps in the batter's box is Morelio, and the first pitch is a curveball on the outside corner for strike 1.
Corner to Morelio.
Reynoso has a primarily a fastball curveball setup with a changeup.
9 RBIs, tied for the lead.
Has a good fastball, but a great breaking ball. Here's the 1-0-1, and that's lifted down the right field line. Schultz had a play on it, gets called off by Sandri, and he will make the play.
Gathered in by Sandry.
And 1 away.
1 out.
Batting 5th.
Number
9. Second baseman.
Brings up second baseman Michael Perry. Perry batting .313. And you know what? Alan Smoot, thinking about it here while I had a chance, who was the cleanup or who was batting in the first inning, he was having a great game over in Klein Family Field. It was almost one of those games where I don't think he wanted to leave. He was 4 for 4, reached base 5 times. Perry steps in from the right side batter's box. The first pitch is right at the knees for strike 1.
At the knees, 0-1. 1 out, no 1 on.
Ramirez Jr. on deck.
Second.
Perry batting .313.
Perry waving the bat around.
Getting set is Reynoso. Here's that 0-1. And that is right there right at the thigh high, just below the belt for strike 2 on the inner half.
But 0-2 to Perry now.
Perry on his 54th start of the season.
21 RBI.
Has 5 home runs, 21 RBIs. Very top-heavy are the Dons. As the 0-2 on the outside corner for ball 1. Goes to 1-2.
Outside, 1 and 2 to Perry.
The Dons have their first 4 batters all with over 30 RBIs. 37 RBIs for their center fielder to lead off. 33 for Giratano, the second in the 2 spot with 33 RBIs. And then your 3-4 hitters, Smoot and Morelio, both have 39.
Some of the other coaches around the league is really settled, at least on his first.
Perry has 21 RBIs on his own, and the left fielder who rounds up the batting order, Bruce, he has 18. So the 1-2 is down the right side, and it will drop for a base hit in front of McKay Koisian, and it will be the first base hit for the Dons here in the second inning.
Now 7 for 10.
Batting 6. Number 44. First baseman.
We'll bring up Manny Ramirez Jr. Ramirez Jr. in his 24th start. This will be his 98th at-bat. He has 25 hits batting .258 on the season. 2 home runs, 14 RBIs.
We joined in the top half of the third inning by the Don's Director of Athletics, Scott Sidwell. So stay with us.
So runner on first. Reynoso checks the runner. Here's that first pitch to Ramirez Jr., and that's on the inner corner or inside corner, and right off just below the belt for strike 1.
11 tries held on by Schultz, the first baseman.
Perry has 6 stolen bases on the season. Has been caught 5 times, so he's 6 for 11. He will try and put pressure.
Center fielder is shaded more towards right center.
The 0-1. And almost a snap throw. Ball gets away from.
And on into second goes Perry, and the throw skips past.
Ball gets past Free. Free wanted to snap throw back to first, and then he lost it. That allowed Perry to go ahead and run to second. Tried to throw it over to second to see if he could still catch him, but Perry was already in second in time.
Perry able to advance on the pass ball. Now the Dons have a runner in scoring position for Ramirez with 1 ball, 1 strike.
So now moving over towards second, runner in scoring position with 1 away here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ramirez Jr.
So hard for him to hold on.
The 1-1. That is in the dirt.
Ramirez now 2-1.
Well, I thought that hit the dirt. Excuse me. That just was extremely low, and it goes to 2-1.
Center fielder Glover is shaded more towards right center. He's got some room in left center if he could give one a right out there.
Tarantino playing more towards the left field side. Trying to avoid a little bit of a pull hitting Ramirez Jr. Check the runner back at second.
The second baseman Sandry was really closer to Perry than Tarantino is. And Tarantino deep in the hole. So in order to keep Perry
A little bit more space in between left center than there is in right center.
could walk after a pretty big lead here.
As Reynoso looks in.
Does get his lead. Reynoso peers at him.
The 2-1.
And to the plate.
A swing and a miss. A breaking ball to Reynoso.
Over the top of a breaking ball there, and it's now an even count. Dan James waits in the on deck circle. James 4 for 7 against the Tigers.
So Reynoso looking in at a 2-2 pitch coming up. Runner in scoring position is Perry.
Ramirez 1 for 5 on Friday.
Getting the signals from his catcher. Checks out the runner at second. A second time. Here's that 2-2. And that just misses a high for ball 3. Reynoso, I think, wanted that pitch, and Ramirez may have gotten lucky here a little bit. Umpires for today behind the plate: Mike Lusky, first base umpire, Rob Hansen, and third base Billy Hayes. And actually, right now, Rob Hansen is standing closer to second due to the fact that Perry is over at second base. Reynoso looking the runner at second. Here's that 3-2. And that is lifted high in towards left field. Barry's going to take it himself. He will make the catch, and there are 2 away.
So Ramirez skies out to left, 2 down.
Batting 7th.
And the batter.
Bring up Dan James. James is having a good season, batting .323 in his senior year. He has 1 home run, 6 RBIs. This will be his 14th start, and he has only 62 at-bats, but in those at-bats, he's been effective with them. He has 20 hits, 4 of them being doubles. Comes in from the left side batter's box. Free will step towards his left a little bit. So the first pitch is low for ball 1. James kind of crowds the plate a little bit. I was just watching it as I've got a great view here.
Opposite field for his first home run shot of the year. Drove in 3 runs yesterday afternoon. In a 10-3 USF win.
James once again getting back in the left side batter's box. Free also moving to his left a little bit. And the 1-0. And that is called for a strike right on the outside corner. James kind of backed up a little bit, shakes his head in almost anticipation, like, okay, maybe I got away. Maybe he got away with one. But it even is a count 1-1. On deck
1 ball, 1 strike to
will
James.
be Aaron Ping. Here's the 1-1
So again, long look at Perry.
by Reynoso.
And to the plate.
And a swing and a miss, strike 2. So the Tigers are 1 strike away of getting out of this inning here in the bottom of the second. 2-0 is our score here. Tigers leading after they scored 2 runs in the top of the second.
No errors. USF, no runs on 1 hit and 1 error.
Tigers scored those runs on those 2 runs on the base hit by Lucas Halstead, went right up the middle, knocked Goodman's glove off of his hand. And Halstead has a ton of power.
Also shaking off signs from his catcher Free.
But was able to drive one right up the middle, and the 1-2 is just outside to go to 2-2.
Good eye by James. Tough one to take, 2-2. Back up on the mound, Reynoso. Again, Perry wandering off to his lead. James waits.
So the 2-2 pitch coming up by Ricky Reynoso. Here's that 2-2, and that is lifted towards center field. And actually, it'll be in shallow center, and Sondri will go ahead and take it upon himself. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So the Tigers get, the Dons get 1 on. They get him as far as second, but that is all that Reynoso allows as we head to the top of the third. Tigers lead 2-0 on the Tiger Digital Network.
Thousands of cats and dogs each year are housed in animal shelters. Local volunteers and workers help to give these poor animals a second chance. But they can't do it alone. Please go down to your local shelter today to volunteer, donate, or adopt. Your support can help end the 4 million euthanations performed each year on animals. Please help. Give a little to save a lot of life. For more information, visit us at www.humanesociety.
Top of the third here at Benedetti Diamond as the San Francisco Dons trail the Pacific Tigers 2-0.
Top of the third inning for the Tigers.
And it'll be
Hitting ninth in the order, number 4.
number 4, Keaton Glover, leading things off. Then we'll head to the top of the order. It'll be Sondri and Tarantino to follow. Glover was at the plate when McKay Quasian was trying to steal, as the first pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Tigers were able to get the base hit by Ryan Schultz. Schultz advances to third after the Blake Berry base hit, and a error by the center fielder pushed both of them into scoring position. And then Lucas Halstead came up, knocked the glove off of Goodman, and was able to drive in those 2. The 0-2 is in the dirt for ball 1 to Keaton Glover. Glover, the freshman from Chandler, Arizona. Sure, he's absolutely loving this temperature here in San Francisco. So the 1-2, that is lifted foul, and we'll do it again to go to 1-2.
1-2 delivery, and he fouls it away. Count stays at 1-2.
The Dons were able to get 1 on after the base hit. The 1-2 is fouled back. Count remains 1-2.
1-2. Glover fights another one off.
The base hit by Michael Perry was able to start off the inning, or actually with 1 away, I believe. There's a grounder towards the first base side. Speedy Glover has to make a run, and good job by Goodman to cover the base as Manny Ramirez flipped it over to him, and quickly there's 1 away.
Ramirez, his only chance, because it took kind of a weird hop, was to reach out and barehanded. And that's what he was able to do. So 3-1 put out, 1 out.
So
Second baseman Kevin Sandry.
yeah, Morelio was retired. Perry wound up with a 1-out base hit. Ramirez Jr. and James both were unable to score him after he was able to advance to second on a pass ball. So first pitch to Sondri is low for ball 1. Sondri 0 for 1, struck out to start the game. The 0-1 is down to the shortstop Giratano. He'll throw on the first. And it is in time for out number 2.
That's 2 down in the inning. And the batter is the shortstop.
Shortstop, Matt Tarantino.
So Matt Tarantino will step in. Tarantino was 0 for 3 yesterday. 0 for 1 today. 2 for 5 on Friday in a swing and a miss to start things out here in the top of the third.
Fouled out to the first baseman back in the first inning.
0-1 is inside, and
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tarantino lifts his hands up as to avoid being hit by that pitch, and it goes to 1-1. Tarantino 0 for 1 today is that 0-1, 1-1 is fouled back. He flew out in foul territory to the first base side to Manny Ramirez Jr. in the second. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Goodman, and it looked like Goodman and Reynoso were going to have a little bit of a pitcher's duel. Obviously, it's still that way as the 1-2 is swung on and hits the ground, so Morello will throw on to first, and that'll end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning by Goodman will head to the bottom of the third. The Tigers lead 2-0 on the Tiger Digital Network.
She's 16 years old, but she looks like she's 25, wearing a tight dress she'll rip off in a shady motel room. She thought this was the life she wanted. She got the money, the clothes, the attention from her pimp, but she also can't imagine living without prostitution. She doesn't think she's a victim. She thinks she's in control, but she can't leave. When she's no longer the sexy little girl they want, she may only see one way out. This girl lived here in Stockton. She's one of thousands of girls in the city who has been sex trafficked but doesn't see herself as a victim. Call the local Stockton Human Trafficking Hotline to report any tips at 209-948-1911. If you see anything, say something. You will be saving a life. And if you are this girl, there is hope. Call 209-948-1911. You are worth so much more.
Back here at Benedetti Diamond as the Tigers leading 2-0 West Coast Conference matchup, the final West Coast Conference matchup for between these two teams, and Tigers leading 2-0 as the Tiger season will continue for one more game as they will have the UC Davis game at UC Davis. And we'll see the 8-9-1 hitters will be Ping, Bruce, and Sinatro. Ping batted 179. Steps in from the right side batter's box. Jeff Dominic along with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here today. Keep saying tonight. I'll eventually get that right. Maybe next season. As the first pitch to Ping is called for a strike one right at the belt on the inner half for strike one.
No balls and a strike to Ping.
Reynoso, much different than his counterpart as we were talking about it. Plays a little bit slower as the 0-1 is in there for strike two. Aaron Ping from San Diego, California, 6'1" in his junior year, batting 179. In his 17th start this season, he has come in 34 other games. This will be his 35th game.
The 0-2 now on the way.
The 0-2, and that is a little grounder towards the third base side. Carter Hayes will gather it. He'll have to jump and make the tag, and
that's an error on Hayes.
It'll be an error on Hayes as Schultz going off the bag and tried to tag Ping. Ping went down as he may have fallen over the bag. So he will reach base on the E5.
Got a pretty good number 9 hitter today. Bruce hitting 284.
I'll put it Harrison Bruce. Bruce at 284, the senior, to round up the batting order for the Dons. His 39th start this season. Has 40 hits in 141 at-bats. 2 triples as well as the first pitch misses up high and outside for ball one. Tigers leading 2-0. 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. USF 0 runs, 1 hit, 1 error here. Just getting started here in the bottom of the third. Runner on first is Ping. The 1-0 is in the dirt. Skips away a little bit from Free. Free was able to keep it in front of him, and it goes to 2-0.
And then you got the leadoff man Sinatra next, and then the RBI guys all coming up. Ping on at first base, reaching on the throwing error.
Ping being held on by Schultz. Ping with no stolen bases on the season. The 2-0 is swung on and fouled back, and it'll go to 2-1.
And it's 2-1 now.
We'll head to the top of the batting order. Will be Sinatra. Directly after Harrison Bruce's at bat.
On Friday, he's 2 for 4 in the series with yesterday's double and 2 RBI.
Reynoso steps in. Here's the 2-1 from Reynoso. That is also fouled back, and it goes to 2-2.
2-2. So Reynoso fights back to bring the count.
So the even count gets even here, and after a 2-0 count, Reynoso able to battle it, and it goes to 2-2.
San Diego needs help today. They need a Santa Clara win in Moraga.
Some of the scores here in just a moment. Maybe it's the next at bat here, before the next at bat, I should say. And the left-handed Reynoso looks in. Here's that 2-2, and that is also fouled back, and the count remains 2-2.
Right above the Tiger dugout.
That one was line foul, and final game here for the West Coast Conference season between the Pacific Tigers and the USF Dons. That's how they're wrapping things up this year. The 2-2 is also fouled back.
Foul right at home plate. And the count stays at 2-2 as Scott's got the headset on. Scott, welcome to the broadcast. Good, how you doing? Great day.
Left-handed batter Harrison Bruce stepping back in the batter's box. Left fielder looks in. Reynoso checks the runner at first, is Ping. Here's that 2-2, and that is just low and outside for ball 3.
Ball 3 out of Bruce, so the count rides full. We'll see if Ping is on the move here. Bruce does have 28 strikeouts, so you keep that in mind if you're Giratano, but we'll see if he sends Ping.
The 3-2, the payoff pitch is grounded over towards the third base side, out of the reach of Carter Hayes. It'll go into left field for a base hit. So the Dons now in with something working, as they now have 2 on and no out.
Center fielder Matt Sinatra.
We're here, I guess, the official sort of end of the athletic year. USF, the Diamond Dons, playing their last baseball game. I know some news at the start of the baseball season, awarding the head coach, Nino Giratano. I just alluded to him with a 5-year contract extension.
There'll be a little bit of a discussion over on the mound here, and that'll end as Free will head back to the plate, and we'll sit down here in just a second. We'll see Sinatra 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. On deck will be Nico Giratano. This is the first pitch to Sinatra is grounded towards the first base to left field line. That is fair, so it'll be a throw in, and now the bases are loaded. So now bases loaded, and Nico Giratano will step in here. Giratano 0 for 1.
Ping reaches on the air, and then you join the booth, and we get single. So now it's Ping at third as he was held up by Troy Nakamura on a sharply hit ball. Bruce over
Sinatra
at first.
Is at first, and Giratano struck out in the first inning. So Reynoso now has to extremely work hard here. His time's called by Giratano. He'll step back in the right side batter's box. He's switch hitting batter, batting .217.
One error for the Dons. Giratano 0 for 1, a swinging strikeout back in the.
As now Reynoso deals. The first pitch is fouled down the right field side, and it will go to 0-1.
And out of play. Scott, tell us about some of the other doings. Let's kind of go season by season. Let's go to the ball sports. I know we have a new volleyball coach on the campus.
Try and give you some scores here while we have a quick second. As Reynoso looks in, and the 0-1. That's outside, ball 1.
1 ball, 1 strike. Give us the sense about both men's and
San Diego leading 2-0 to Pepperdine.
their off seasons and all that. This is the time of the year.
Santa Clara 3-0 to St. Mary's. Loyola Marymount beating Portland 5-4, and in our score here 2-0. Tigers leading the Dawn. It's the 1-1 is in the dirt, stays in front of Reynoso, or excuse me, stays in front of Free. Count goes to 2-1. Goes to 1-2, excuse me. So Reynoso in need of a big play here. Looks in the 1-2. That's outside, ball 2. Hearing from the dugout telling Giratano, nice, relaxed.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Giratano. Bases loaded.
Bases full of Dons. Ping at third. Bruce at second. Sinatro at first. Here's that 2-2. And that is grounded towards the third base side, and that will go in to left field for a base hit. Throw home is at the plate, and they're saying he's safe. So it is 2-2, and the game is tied. Free does not agree with that play. I think that tag was applied. That was a close play, but that game is tied.
I can tell you, we got your headset dialed in. I hear you clear as a bell. You can hear yourself, right?
Third baseman, Alan Smoot.
And that brings up Alan Smoot. Smoot line to the shortstop.
We do have Scott in.
Ping will be scored unearned.
Coming in clear as a bell from where we sit, so it should be delivering to the telecast as well.
And the base is still full. It still has a couple of runners on. Giratano now at first, and Sinatro now at second. The first pitch to Smoot is in there for strike 1.
Thank you.
We're going to trade lights out and see if that changes anything at all. Again, we'll see. Can you guys pick me up over there?
How about now? There's a 30 seconds delay.
Smoot stepping in from the left side batter's box. The 0-1
Set up the way it's normally set up, so hopefully,
by Reynoso is underway, and a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Scott Sidwell with us. The Dons have a couple of runs in. Still no one out in the inning. Giratano driving in 2 runs.
Tie ball game here as the Dons have come in here to the third inning to score 2. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Dons. The Pacific Tigers at 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. And Smoot, arguably one of the best hitters in the West Coast Conference at 365. Came in at 367. And that is grounded right towards Reynoso. He'll get the runner at third. He throws it away.
Way up over the third baseman Hayes and off the facade.
And now the bases are back loaded. And unfortunately, that's something that the Tigers have had an issue with as far as Reynoso. Reynoso, he pitches well, but when he's flustered, he will throw a few away.
2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Tigers. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Dons.
Now bring up Dominic Morolio. Morolio batting .278, 0 for 1. He flew out to the second baseman, and that was down the right field line. The first pitch is lined right down the right field line and will hook foul to go to 0-1.
Try something different here, Scott. Put you on the ambient mic. Let's see if that works a little bit. Okay, well, that's Scott now.
Here on the
base is loaded for Morolio here. They've got 2 runs.
Don side, they're saying go Demo, or here we go Demo for Dominic Morolio as the 0-1 is lifted down the right side. Racing after it is the right fielder McCoy Cloisian, but a sacrifice fly as Sinatra will come in to score, and the Dons now take the lead 3-2.
Second baseman, Michael Perry.
So 1 away, runners on the corners. Giarratano will now stand on second, and at first is Smoot.
That would be a sacrifice fly, but Sinatra in with the 3rd run of the inning. The sac fly RBI for Morolio is his 40th run driven in of the year.
Perry had a base hit in the second. It was down the right side in front of the right fielder, McKay Koisian. Don's lead 3-2 as that pitch is lined foul down the left side. Watch out over there.
Troy Nakamura in the third base coach's box. Give him a glove. Yeah.
Might have needed shoulder pads when he went into those breaks.
So only 1 away here as the Tigers trail 3-2 now here in the bottom of the third.
USF out in front now here in the inning.
Couple of errors really hurt the Tigers as the 3-2 is grounded towards Hayes. Hayes will step on the bag at second, and Sondri is upended.
They're going to call the out.
And I'm wondering if they'll call the runner at first out too, but
Double play, or you take him out?
curious.
So they will count the run that came.
The run will score, and they will stay that the runner at first. And now head coach Mike New is going to go ahead and take a look at Sondri, their second baseman. And they can ill afford losing him as well. President Mobius would come in if there was needed. Don's lead 4-2. But Smoot really took out Sondri. Sondri needs a little bit of time to regroup his little bit.
Brings home Giarratano, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. 4 runs.
Perry now standing at first. Manny Ramirez Jr. will come in here, and still a bit of time needed. Sondri has taken his lumps this season. He's been hit by pitches 10 times, a couple of times in the head. He has actually had to sit out a couple times because of concussion issues. And then now this. And Sondri, he's a gamer. He'll stay in.
There's a base runner is to go after that guy at second base. And at the major league level, you'll see double plays turn where the base runner is sliding almost towards right center sometimes.
First baseman, Manny Ramirez.
So Manny Ramirez Jr. will step in from the right side batter's box. 4 runs this inning for the Dons. They lead 4-2. A couple of errors and
So 5-4 on the fielder's choice.
has really hurt the Tigers.
Off the base path. So now 2 down in the inning, 4 runs in. The batter is Manny
Lefty Reynoso will have to deal here. Here's the first pitch, and that's low for ball 1.
Skied out to left field, back in the
Ramirez lifted one into left field in the second. Was brought on by Barry. Barry wound up making the play.
Ramirez is the 8th batter of the inning. Barry gets the lead.
Here's the first 1-0. And that is Sky down the left side, and that may be gone. It's out of here. Manny Ramirez Jr. with the home run.
Goodbye, a 2-run shot.
And Manny Ramirez extends his lead 6-2. So the errors hurt the Tigers to more than we can even assume. Manny Ramirez Jr. been greeted by his teammates.
2 RBIs baseman for Ramirez.
All these runs not being earned.
16th runs of the year.
Right fielder, Dan James.
Dan James will step in here. There's been 6 runs in this third. Only one of them will be earned. And James, the 9th batter of this inning. That's the first pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Reynoso now up to 52 pitches.
One by Hayes, one by Reynoso. 2 Tiger errors in the inning. Base is empty now for Dan James.
6 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, while the Tigers 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors.
King waits with a chance to bat for a second time in the frame.
As the 0-1 goes in the dirt to go to 1-1. Tigers will have the 3, 4, or 5 hitters. Will be Free, Schultz, and Hayes. The 1-1 is lifted to left center field. This is going to find a gap, and it will drop for a base hit. Barry will gather it. He'll throw in towards Tarantino, and a stand-up double was still with 2 away. And the Dons have batted around, and we now will have Aaron Ping back up.
Designated hitter, Aaron Ping.
That'll bring a visit on the coaching mound.
In our next inning, we'll kick things around to the winner's part. We'll talk about both men's and
have a conversation. This inning, 6 runs, 4 hits, 2 of those errors. And once again, the Tigers just having those issues trying to keep the ball in front of them. Carter Hayes had the 1 issue, and that would have gotten Ping out. And then also the error by Ricky Reynoso trying to get the lead runner. And that's what caused this inning so far, really.
You would think so. Again, our vantage point down here in the press box. And Scott, we got to ask you about the ballpark because I know there's been a big.
Ping, the right-handed batter, steps in the batter's box.
This stadium has been part of that. I know last
Reynoso
year didn't quite come
in from the stretch,
as quick as some would have liked, but
looking into his 56th pitch here.
Boy, what a beautiful ballpark for baseball.
He deals, and that is outside and low for ball 1.
A little bit lower, right behind home plate. There's a little luxury suite off to our left. You've got the grandstand, and it's just a wonderful feel for a college.
6-2 our score. And San Francisco has exploded this one for 6 runs. Reynoso checks the runner at second. And the 1-0. That misses to go to 2-0.
A bit low, 2-0. Ping led off the inning, reached on an error. That started what's been a 6-run frame. And a runner out at second base with 2 down. It's Dan James.
Runner at second is Dan James after the 2-out double into left center field. 1-1. Or 2-0, excuse me. It goes to 2-1 after a strike's called on the outside half, right above the knees.
Ping came into the ball game at 179 for the year.
Reynoso taking his time.
6 hits for USF.
Ping reached on an error in this inning. Later came around to score. As the 2-1. That is low and inside for ball 3.
3-1 out of Ping. How much longer Reynoso will labor? Do we have a pitch count on him? He's at 59 pitches already here in the 3rd inning.
So Reynoso looking in here with a possible losing this one. Losing Ping, I should say, is the 3-1. That is grounded down the left side. That is a foul ball as it just goes past the third base bag. The count goes full.
So the home plate umpire, Mike Lusky, had to make that call. It was an easy call. It did bound foul. And the count now full.
It'll be Free, Schultz, and Hayes here in the top of the fourth. Right now, we're looking at a payoff pitch by Reynoso as they trail 6-2, and that is well outside. Free did a great job and used all 6'2" of himself to come out, and he actually bangs the mask on his knee. He's just as frustrated as probably Reynoso is. Now I'll bring up Harrison Bruce. Bruce had the single in the third inning.
Bruce were to reach, you'd get around to the top part of the order for Sinatra, who bats lefty. Giratano, a switch hitter.
Looks in, here's that first pitch. And that is called for a strike on the outside corner for strike one.
8, 10, 12 ball games I've been out here, it seems like Giratano has hit better from the right side. Which is interesting because he probably gets more at bats as a left-handed hitter. Or righties out there. 0-1 out of Bruce. We're not quite around to Giratano.
So Bruce looks in, steps in from left side batter's box. The 0-1 is up high and outside for ball one.
1 ball, 1 strike to Bruce. And he started with an error, then went single, 2-run single, throwing error, sack fly RBI. Perry reached on a fielder's choice, and then Ramirez smashed a 2-run homer.
So the 1-1 by Reynoso is lifted down the left field line. Barry will have to give it a little bit of run. It looks like he has time, and that'll end the inning. So the Tigers coming up as they trail 6-2 on the Tiger Digital Network.
In the bottom of the third inning for San Francisco, 6 runs.
San Francisco SPCA, a non-profit animals shelter which is to save and protect animals, provide care and treatment. In 2015, the leave release rate for the entire city of San Francisco reached 93%. We imagine a community where every animal has a loving home, where animals don't need the support of San Francisco's rescues and shelters. The SPCA is an independent, local non-profit that receives no government funding and is not part of any national organization. We rely on your support. Come to join us. We can't do this without you. You can go to www.sfspca.org to donate or contact us 415-554-3000.
Back here at Benedetti Diamond, Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here as the Tigers trail 6-2. The Dons were able to score 6 runs off of 2 of the Tiger errors in that inning, and that just really has been the outcome of this game. 2 errors, 6 hits, 6 runs as the first pitch to James Free is low by Grant Goodman. James Free 0 for 1, struck out in the first inning. And it looked like Goodman was going to start dealing here as the 0-1 is swung on down the first base side. Ramirez with it. He'll take it upon himself, step on the bag, and there's 1 away. Bring up Ryan Schultz. Schultz had that, helped in that second inning. He led off with a base hit. Came around later to score off of the single by Lucas Halstead. Halstead drove in 2 on that inning in the second. Schultz looks in. Here's that first pitch, and that's lifted down the left field line. That'll drop for a base hit. And racing after it is Bruce. Schultz jigging for 2, and he'll stand up with a double. So a single and a double for Schultz. And he's had a good series.
Smoking hot bat this weekend. Schultz now in the series.
I believe he is now 7 for 10.
Third baseman, Carter.
Yeah, I think that'll earn you a good spot over batting 700.
So he's at second, a 1-out double. The batter is the third
So
baseman.
1 away, and brings up Carter Hayes. Hayes had that error in the third inning, and that really, we'll see if he can make up for that as he steps in, batting 5th today, which is unique, but with no Danny Mayer. Here's the first pitch in there for strike 1. But Carter Hayes
It predicted the USF men's basketball team to finish anywhere in 8th or 9th.
Has 5 hits and 40 at-bats. Really starting to get back into it only because of he broke his hand or broke a bone in his hand
What a great job by
early in the season as the 0-1 is grounded foul down the left field line. It'll go to 0-2. But he had a broken bone in his hand and was unable to be really effective to start the season. Of course, when you don't get a chance to throw many at bats, it's harder to get the batter's eye. And now with that, here we are in the 41st at bat, able to get things going. Here's the 0-2, and that's up high for ball 1. One away here in the top of the 4th. As Goodman looks in from the stretch, is low, ball 2. Even a count at 2-2, and Carter Hayes doing a good job at just laying off a couple of, especially that 1-2 pitch was a good pitch that sometimes Hayes might have gone after. So he looks in, the 2-2. That is just misses to go full. I actually was about ready to ring him up for you, but the home plate umpire, Mike Lusky, said that was too high for his liking, and the count goes full. Goodman looks in. Here's the 3-2. That is up high. It goes so a walk to Carter Hayes. 2 on here for Blake Berry. Berry had that double and later scored on the base hit by Lucas Halstead. Would love to have another double here. Berry has a couple home runs on the season. For his senior year, his 2 home runs is the most he's ever had in a season. He's only had 3 total home runs. Had a home run last season and then 2 this season. Looks in, Goodman, first pitch, called for a strike. Berry's now actually had a few words for the umpire. The 0-1. That's down the right field line and has everyone looking out. It hits off the bricks down the right field line, and
Berry the batter, Hayes walks, so now first and second for Pacific with 1 out in the inning. 0-2 now to Berry, who singled back in the second inning, advanced to second.
So now with an 0-2 pitch coming up, Berry will have to fight here. The 0-2, that is in the dirt. Everyone stays safe, or stays put, as Morello did a good job. It squirted to his left a little bit, but
out at second base, Hayes on over at
Morello
1 ball, 2 strikes.
really didn't have much to worry about because Schall's not known for his base stealing, and neither is Hayes. Schall's and Hayes both don't have a stolen base. Hayes has good speed. The 1-2, that is lifted high towards the shortstop, Girotano. He'll make the catch. And there are 2 away. Now bring up Lucas Halstead.
Designated hitter Lucas Halstead.
Halstead 1 for 1, had that base hit right up the middle that knocked off Goodman's glove. Was able to score 2. Halstead with an opportunity here. Here's the first pitch, and that's low for ball 1.
1-0. Halstead singled back in the second, 1 for 1 today. With the Dons 6-2 leaders here in the 4th.
Dons leading 6-2 with 2 away here in the top of the 4th. That 0-1 is towards the second base side. Perry, he will throw it over to first, and that ends the inning. So the Tigers are able to get 2 on. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Tigers trail 6-2 on the Tiger Digital Network.
Thousands of cats and dogs each year are housed in animal shelters. Local volunteers and workers help to give these poor animals a second chance. But they can't do it alone. Please go down to your local shelter today to volunteer, donate, or adopt. Your support can help end the 4 million euthanations performed each year on animals. Please help. Give a little to save a lot of life. For more information, visit us at www.humanesociety.org.
Back here at Benedetti Diamond, Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here as we're on the road with the Tigers. And Pacific Tigers come into San Francisco. The USF Dons as the Dons lead 6-2. And we will see.
Bottom of the fourth inning for San Francisco. Center fielder Matt Sinatro.
It'll be Sinatro, Giratano, and Smoot, the top of the batting order for the Dons. Dons were happy to go ahead and score 6 runs in the third inning after 2 errors really allowed the Dons to put Reynoso in a spot as the first pitch is in there for strike 1. Sinatro 1 for 2, had that base hit, later scored in the third. Left-handed batter digs back in. The 0-1 also called for a strike right at the knees. Sinatro batting .314, has 22 stolen bases, one of the conference leaders in stolen bases, if not the leader. Want to get you some scores again as we will update you. Looking in the 0-2, and that is grounded towards the shortstop Tarantino. He'll throw on to first, and that'll be 1 away. San Diego and Pepperdine tied at 2 apiece. Santa Clara beating St. Mary's 3-2.
Shortstop Nico Giratano.
Loyola Marymount 9-5 over Portland, and in our game here 6-2. San Francisco over Pacific. Giratano steps in. He's 1 for 2. Had 2 RBIs in the third inning. Off the base hit as the first pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1. For the Tigers will be the 8, 9, and 1 spots. Koisian, Glover, and Sondry will face Goodman in the top of the 5th. So 1 check swing not going around was Giratano. It goes to 1-1.
How much time is spent? How much time do you spend that afternoon trying to whittle down to the 64 that go into the various locations around the country?
The 1-1, a swing and a miss as Reynoso took a little off that one. Goes to 1-2. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Sinatro grounded out. And the 1-2, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Only the second strikeout for Reynoso. Second strikeout today for Reynoso.
Alan Smoot.
It brings up Alan Smoot. Smoot, out of everyone here, has had the toughest time. He's 0 for 2. He lined out to the shortstop in the first and then reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Looks in here. The first pitch. And that's on the inside. And actually it says they hit him. So Smoot will reach. And Free's just not having a good day today as he's shaking his head again and extremely frustrated towards home plate umpire Mike Lusky. So now with the runner on with 2 away, bring up Dominic Marolio.
Smoot on over at first base. He drew a 2-out walk. So now Marolio
as that pitch is down the left field line. That is fair. Racing after it is Barry. He will gather it, but that will be a double. Oh, did he tag him? Safe under the. Oh, they got him. Wow, running into third was Smoot, and he was tagged out. So that'll end the inning. So a little bit of a defensive luck for the Tigers. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Tigers trail 6-2 on the Tiger Digital Network.
Fourth for the Dons. No runs.
Statistics show that there are more than 500,000 homeless people in the United States. 500,000 who will not have a roof over their heads, not have a warm bed to fall asleep in, and not know where their next meal will come from. Over 2,000 of them live in our backyard of the greater Stockton area in San Joaquin County. Few are aware of their struggles. The Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity at the University of the Pacific and Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs will be holding a homelessness awareness event from April 12th through the 14th. During this time, the men of Pike will be experiencing the life of a homeless person by sleeping outdoors, only receiving food by donation, and raising money for local shelters and food banks. Mayor Tubbs will be speaking to the school and addressing this issue of homelessness in Stockton. Donations can be made to Pike's Hit of Reality through check, cash, and card. Every dollar raised will go back into your Stockton community so that someone will know that they won't be falling asleep hungry tonight. This message is brought to you by the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, Kappa Nu Chapter.
Top 5 here at Benedetti Diamond is the Tigers trailing 6-2. Coming up to bat here as they will face Grant Goodman in the 5th inning. Goodman has pitched well through 4 innings. He's given up 4 hits, 2 runs. One of those runs will be earned. Has struck out 3, walked 1. Once again, through 4 innings of work. Be curious to see if Reynoso will come in for the 5th. I would assume he would. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. It'll be McKay Koisian, and it'll be Keaton Glover and Kevin Sondry as we go back to the top of the batting order. Koisian reached on a fielder's choice in the second as the first pitch is outside for ball 1. It's good to see McKay Koisian get it one last start. He's from Cypress, California. Steps in as a 1-0 is outside on the outside corner called for strike 1.
Maybe things you'd like to achieve as you move towards the 17 and 18 athletic season.
Quickly, Goodman tried to hold up his swing with Koisian, but he went around. It goes to 1-2. So the 1-2 pitch, quickly Goodman works away. Here's that 1-2 and a swing and a miss. It did fall, so Morello will have to throw on to first, and that's a strikeout number 4 for Goodman. And Keaton Glover will step in. Glover 0 for 1.
Fielder, Keaton Glover.
Grounded out towards the first base side. And covering was the pitcher. As he squares around the bunt, it's lifted up, but it'll drop and it'll throw on to first. Safe, says Keaton Glover. So a base hit for Keaton Glover, as that will help the old batting average, trying to get it back over to. As he started off hot early in the season, then going through the motions of playing Division I baseball, just never really panned out.
Second baseman, Kevin
Glover now at 173. I'll bring up Kevin Sondry. Sondry 0 for 2, now at 289 on the season. His 46th start of the season for Sondry as the first pitch is lifted down the right field line, and that will go foul. Count goes to 0-1. Sondry, I remember talking to Danny Mayer, the senior for the Tigers, who went 2 for 4 on Friday. He had a home run, and I asked him about the cornerstones of this team looking into next year. As the 0-1 pitch is swung on down the right field line, that'll drop for a base hit and will roll for a while. Sondry heading off to second. Actually, he will stop and pump the brakes, and now there'll be runners on the corners as Glover heads over to third. But I asked Danny Mayer about it, and he said that there's the Tigers are up and coming. They're a young team with very young talent. Free, obviously, one of them. Sondry, another one. Ricky Reynoso, who's had a tough day today, but has really pitched well over the season. And so you have a lot of spots here. And there's another one coming in here right now, Matt Tarantino. I'd be kind of curious if his name gets called this summer. During the draft, the first pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 1 Goodman throws a breaking ball that Tarantino is out on his front foot on. Come in at 300, now batting .297. Has 7 home runs on the season, 29 RBIs.
On the last year or two, kind of going above.
For Tarantino, his 47th start of the season. As the 0-1 is low for ball one.
Father Fitzgerald, I think, has proved to be a real asset for athletics.
And Sondry or Glover will steal a couple bases on you. Sondry has 4, and Glover has 2. So Goodman looks in. Here's that 1-1, and that's outside. Checking his swing was Tarantino, but pulled it back in time to go to 2-1. Tigers still have one more game to go as they will play tomorrow in UC Davis. 2-1 by Goodman is swung on and towards the shortstop side. Giratano will gather it. He'll throw on to first and got a 6-4-3 double play, ends the inning. So Tigers get 2 on, but are unable to capitalize. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers trail 6-2 on the Tiger Digital Network.
Left on base.
Eric Easy E. Wright. Irvin Magic Johnson. These are just 2 of the many people who could not escape the horrible disease known as HIV. AIDS.gov calculated that 1.2 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, and 1 in every 8 of them don't even know that they are HIV positive. It is time for everyone to go to their local doctor and get tested. Let's do what we can to make sure we continue the fight against HIV, so that we are no longer hearing sounds like this.
I don't want to die yet!
But instead hearing sounds like this.
I love you, Daddy!
Listen to this message. Please don't ignore. Go get tested, and the life you will save is yours.
Bottom 5 here at Benedetti Diamond as the Tigers trail 6-2. The rubber match between the Tigers and the Dons. Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here. We'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters. It'll be Perry, Ramirez Jr., and James. Ping would follow should anybody reach, as Ricky Reynoso is on the mound for another inning of work. He's gone through 73 pitches so far. That's 74 as that swung on and actually fouled back. There wasn't that bat. I don't remember which one it was, but I heard the bat actually hit off of Free's helmet. Free obviously looking okay here, but just kind of curious about it. The 0-1, that is lifted high towards the right field side. McKay Koisian looking after it. Actually will let Sondry take it upon himself, and there's out number 1.
Sandry, the second baseman, backing up. That'll be a pop out to the second baseman to start the inning.
First baseman, Manny Ramirez Jr.
Manny Ramirez Jr. will step in. He had that 2-run crushing shot down the left field.
Radio on 95.7 the game. The game kind of filling itself now as the place to go for basketball, the home of the Golden State Warriors. They took 8.
So Reynoso from the stretch. Here's that first pitch to Ramirez Jr., and that is in there for strike 1, a curveball right on the inner corner or outside corner for strike 1. Tigers will have the 3, 4, 5 hitters. It'll be Free, Schultz, and Hayes due up in the top of the 6th. The 0-1 is also a fastball right above the knees, right down the middle for strike 2. The 0-2, and that is fouled back. Right in front of me, actually. And count remains 0-2.
Given any thought to maybe getting a high-level team to come and play USF in the downtown arena?
Well, I can tell you that we've had multiple.
So Reynoso looking in. Here's the 0-2 to Ramirez Jr. That is down the right side, and that will hook foul, and the count remains 0-2. 6-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Dons were able to have 6 runs in the 3rd, which just really had a defensive lapse for the Tigers. 2 errors in that inning really caused that, as the 0-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. The 3rd strikeout for Ricky Reynoso, and there's 2 away. But the errors in that 3rd inning, really the downfall so far for the Tigers. 2 errors, even, albeit that there was 6 hits, but that really the first error was by Carter Hayes, trying to go after the leadoff hitter Ping, and then an error by Ricky Reynoso trying to get the lead runner at 3rd, really pushed things around. As the first pitch is called for a strike to Dan James. The right fielder had a double in the 3rd. Over into left center. Left-handed batter stepping in the batter's box. And the 0-1, a swing and a miss, another curveball. Reynoso pretty effective with those curveballs. When he has his typical day, he will throw that pitch, and it just puts a lot of hitters on the front foot. The 0-2, and that's lifted foul down the left side to remain 0-2.
You know, with what Gonzaga has done and St. Mary's under Randy Bennett with his success, Scott, in my mind, that's been...
So James steps back in. Reynoso in the stretch. Here's the 0-2. And that is grounded towards Sondri. Sondri will backhand it. He'll throw on to first. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. Dons lead 6-2 on the Tiger Digital Network.
Your score remains.
That's the Big Dipper over there, and there's the Little Dipper.
Rub the balloon on your head like this, and then it'll stick to the wall.
Brown shoes, brown belt. Black shoes, black belt.
Pucker your lips, leave a little hole like this, blow out, and that's how you whistle.
And that's why radios don't go near the bathtub.
Come on, Riff! Open your eyes!
Get some glasses, you idiot! Remember, you're always teaching. Teach carefully. React with rage, and kids will learn it's okay to do the same. Keep your cool, and kids will do likewise. For a few quick pointers, visit actagainstviolence.org or call 877-ACT-WISE for a free brochure. Well, a cow pie really isn't a pie. Brought to you by MetLife Foundation, National Association for the Education of Young Children, and the Ad Council.
Top 6 here at Benedetti Diamond is the Tigers trailing 6-2 to the San Francisco Dons. And the Tigers have had base runners, just unable to capitalize as the Tigers trail 6-2. Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here. As Tigers 1 for 4 in runners in scoring position, 3 for 8 with runners on, but a lot of that came when Lucas Halstead came up and had that 2-run base hit. Free steps in. The first pitch he sees is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Grant Goodman so far through 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, only 1 run being earned, has struck out 4 Tiger batters. The 0-1 is now 1-1. That pitch misses high and outside for ball 1. And in contrast, the Dons, they are 5 for 10 with runners on, 2 for 7 as that 1-1 is fouled back.
They have a 6-2 lead. Top of the 6th inning.
They are 3 for 7 with 2 outs.
4-5 hitters, so right in the meat of the order. 3.
Schultz now at 351.
3 with 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That is grounded towards the second base side. Perry will gather it. Throw on to first, and Free is 0 for 3 today. I'll bring up Brian Schultz. Schultz, 7 for 10 on the series, is 2 for 2 today.
He's 2 for 2 today.
Could use he has a base hit in the second and a double in the fourth.
He's hit a home run. He's doubled, he's tripled, he's driven in around.
That'll
scored a couple.
bring in a conversation.
Now because he steps in with that red hot bat.
And they're going to call for a pitching change. So no one on, and that'll be the end of the day for Goodman through 75 pitches. So we will step aside here, and we'll get you the name of the new pitcher when we come back here on the Tiger Digital Network.
Want to fight childhood asthma? Then fight it with a scrub brush and a hot soapy towel. Even in the neatest and tidiest homes, if there's so much as a crumb to eat or a drop to drink, household pests like bugs and mice will do all that they can to get it. And they're more than just a nuisance for kids with asthma, because they can actually trigger an asthma attack. So, sweep up crumbs, wipe down tables, scrub dishes before they pile up in the sink, and store leftovers in plastic bags or bowls. Don't leave bugs and mice so much as one tidbit or nibble, and you can stop a childhood asthma attack before it starts. Discover other simple ways to prevent an asthma attack. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS or visit noattacks.org, because no child should feel like a fish out of water. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. EPA, the Ad Council, and this station.
Hello, son. I'm Dean Rubin from college. Here to invite you to join us this fall.
Me?
You've always wanted to go to college, correct?
Yeah.
Well, here's that invitation you've been waiting for.
Joey, out of bed.
Wake up. You can't dream your way into college. There are actual steps you need to take. For all the steps, visit knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
New pitcher for the USF Dons, as it'll be a left-handed pitcher, and it'll be Sam Granoff. Granoff with a 4.37 ERA. He's 2 for 4 on the season, 55 2/3 innings, 68 hits, 33 runs, 27 earned, and has struck out 26. And he will be facing Ryan Schultz. Schultz 2 for 2 today. Has a base hit in the second and a double in the fourth. First pitch is fouled back. It goes to 0-1. Want to get you some scores here once again in the West Coast Conference.
A lot that will determine the seeding in the postseason.
0-1 is up high and outside, ball 1.
And it's 1-1. Case in point, San Diego and St. Mary's.
San Diego and Pepperdine San Diego's leading 5-2 as that pitch is lifted down the right side. That will bounce off the screen, and it'll be in for a base hit for Schultz. Schultz now 3 for 3. San Diego beating Pepperdine 5-2. St. Mary's 4-3 over Santa Clara. Loyola Marymount all over Portland 11-5, and then our score here 6-2. San Francisco leading Pacific.
Single, double, single today, and that.
So Schultz 3 for 3, and now bring up Carter Hayes. Hayes 0 for 1. So he looks into the lefty Granoff. As that pitch is low for ball 1. And this ballpark is extremely unique. It's only 300 down the right field line, but it has a higher it has a high yellow line in the similar of the 1-0 is swung on and missed for strike 1. Has a high yellow line that kind of similar towards the way that the Pacific Tigers have theirs down the left side. Has a bit of a higher wall. But due to the fact of how this ballpark's set up, they set the yellow line up high. I'll be curious as the 1-1 is swung on and missed, a breaking ball that Carter Hayes went swinging away at. I'll be curious to see if they'll put something up there to kind of mimic that design. We'll see how they kind of run things here in the next year or a couple years. The 1-2 is grounded towards the shortstop, Giratano. He'll flip it to second, throw on to first, and another double play to end the inning. So the Tigers were able to get one on, but we head to the bottom of the sixth. Dons lead 6-2 on the Tiger Digital Network.
One hit, no errors, no runners, left on base.
In the great scheme of things, a minute isn't all that much. Unless you happen to have a stroke. All of a sudden, those minutes count. Minutes that could mean losing your ability to talk. Minutes that could mean losing your ability to walk. Talking, moving, walking, gone. Which is why, if you can get help in time, your stroke can be treated. The warning signs of a stroke include sudden numbness or weakness of the face, sudden trouble seeing, speaking, or understanding. If you experience this, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost. Visit strokeassociation.org or call 1-888-4STROKE today. A public service announcement brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Know the facts about African Americans and stroke. To join the movement to stop stroke, visit strokeassociation.org today.
Bottom 6 inning here at Benedetti Diamond. The Dons leading 6-2 in this final West Coast Conference game between the Pacific Tigers and the USF Dons, as they will have 8, 9, and 1 hitters. The Ping,
That led to a 6-run third. When the Dons led off the
Bruce, and Sinatro to face Ricky Reynoso, as the first pitch is inside and low for ball 1. So far for Ricky Reynoso, he's 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs. Only one of those runs being earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts this afternoon. The 1-0 is called for a strike right on the outer corner and right below the belt for strike 1. Ping had reached on an error in the 3rd inning, later scored in that 6-run inning, had a walk in the 3rd as well, as the 1-1 is fouled back, and it goes to 1-2.
Tigers playing their 52nd game of the year. Dons finishing the year with their
The 1-2 by Reynoso, and that's also fouled this time down the right side, and I'll go out of play, and count remains 1-2.
bottom half of the 6th inning.
Tigers still have that 1 game left against UC Davis.
For 1 o'clock, it was a 1:38 start. A traffic delay because of the data breakers. You don't get that too often. The umpires.
Reynoso looking in, and once again that 1-2, and that swung on and missed. Strike 3. And I'm finding out what that race was called. I think it's called the Beta Breakers. I'm just not familiar with it. So, and that was the biggest delay today. Is not just myself, but even the umpires were even showing up late. Game started off at 1:38 due to it, and it made things kind of complicated. But we got it going. As Bruce steps in, and the first pitch he sees is headed off to left center field. Keaton Glover will drift off to his right, and he'll make the catch on more of a jog for 2 down.
Center fielder.
And I'll bring up Matt Sinatro. Sinatro 1 for 3. Sinatro, one of the leaders in the West Coast Conference in stolen bases, batting .312, has 2 home runs, 2 triples, 9 doubles. Had that base hit in the 3rd, later came around to score. Has grounded out twice to the shortstop, Tarantino. First pitch to him is swung on, and that's grounded right up the middle. And Sandri will not have a play, as even though he gloved it, he'll just kind of flip it back to Tarantino. And Sinatro, the speedy Don, will be on with his second base hit today for Nico Giratano.
Talking about those numbers earlier for Giratano.
Giratano batting .218 coming into today, now currently at .219 after he's had a 1 for 3 days so far. The lefty Reynoso here with 2 outs. The first pitch is lifted foul, and count goes to 0-1.
This is the side of the plate where he's had more success.
1 on here with 2 outs after that 2-out base hit, infield base hit by Sinatro.
Sinatro, the runner over at first base, he does have 22 steals.
He's got 22 stolen bases, so you know he can run if he needs to. This one's lifted down the right field corner. Okay, Koisi will make the catch as he drifts to his left, and will make the play, and that'll end the inning. So the Tigers coming up here in the top of the 7th as they trail 6-2 to the Dons here on the Tiger Digital Network.
It's Don 6.
All right. Guys are great.
Batter up.
So, which one's yours? The one at bat. Oh, that's okay, Chris. Only my kid could strike out in T-ball. Oh, run, Chris, go! Looks like he's having some trouble running. Oh, he's wandering way off the baseline. It's like he can't see. Oh my gosh, his helmet is too big. It's as big as a bucket. You know, I must have gotten him an adult one. What was I thinking?
You're out.
Oh. When safety equipment doesn't fit, it's game over. That goes for your kid, too. If they're too big for a car seat, that doesn't mean they're the right size for an adult safety belt. If they're under 4'9", they need a booster seat. It raises them up so the safety belt fits properly. And the right fit makes all the difference to their future. To learn more, visit www.boosterseat.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Back here in the top of the 7th inning, Tigers coming up, trailing 6-2. Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you very much for joining us here, as this will probably be the last broadcast of the season for here on the Tiger Digital Network. So we're pleased and proud and everything in between to be able to bring this game to you.
Left fielder.
They'll bring the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. It'll be Blake Berry, Lucas Halstead, and McKay Koisian in for the Tigers here in the top of the 7th. The first pitch is squared around a bunt. Pulling it back was Berry. Berry 1 for 2 today. Comes in now at 263. This is his 100th at bat this season. Looks in. Here's that 1-0. And that's up high, right above the belt for ball 2. I want to give you some of the stats here for Goodman, as his day was done in the last inning. For Grant Goodman, 5 1/3, 6 hits on 2 runs. That pitch misses up high as well. Ball 3. 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 run being earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts in 75 total pitches. So that'll end his season. The 3-0 is called for a strike. And goes to 3-1. The left-handed pitcher, Granoff, throws it, and that misses inside, ball 4. So a leadoff walk for the Tigers for Lucas Halstead.
Brings up the DH Halstead.
Halstead, once again, has had his struggles this season, has not struck out today, but has struck out over 60 times this season, one of the tops in the WCC. Not a stat you want to have. 61 total times. Has 9 doubles, 5 home runs, has driven in 21 in his junior year. The first pitch skips away from Morello. He'll have to fire it down to second. Is he back in time? He's safe, says the first base umpire, Rob Hansen, as Morello did a great job of recovering and making a beeline throw that I think any pitcher would be jealous of, as it was pretty much right on the mark. But Berry was in there in time, right underneath the tag of Perry. So now runner in scoring position for Halstead as he looks in at 1-0. Curveball right below the belt for strike 1 out in the inner half. The count goes even, 1-1. Tigers trailing 6-2 here. It's going to be 2 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. 6 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for the Dons. As the 1-1 misses outside, go to 2-1. Halstead from Alamo, California, in his junior year. Last year was in the 2016 season. Things were looking promising for him as the 2-1 is swung on down the left side, and that will go foul. And the count goes even, 2-2. And Halstead had a good season. Had 6 home runs. Was driving in right around 30. And just could not get things going this season. Now, of course, he did have the injuries from his with a couple wrist injuries as the 2-2 is swung on, and that's smashed foul. count will remain 2-2.
In the athletic department.
But he had a wrist injury to start the season and just really has not been able to regroup. Much like Danny Mayer, Mayer took for a while to get back to his swing, and he'll end his season on a high note as he had that home run in Friday's game at home to really end his career at Pacific. From the stretch by Granoff, here's that 2-2, and that's low, ball 3. And McKay Koisian will be on deck.
Looks like there's a picture for him, but
Koisian 0 for 2.
is that Mayer? It is.
In the bottom of the order, just the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Here's the 3-2 payoff.
And the 3-2 misses low, ball 4. And as I say that McKay Koisian was going to be on deck, it looks like here comes Danny Mayer. And
your attention, please, for Pacific.
that may be the end of the pitcher, Sam Granoff.
Number 34, Danny Mayer.
And it is. So he'll leave with 2 on, but Danny Mayer, they're one of the big powerhouses coming up. Tigers trailing 6-2 on the Tiger Digital Network.
Right-handed batter against the lefty Granoff.
Statistics say that 4 out of 10 high school students will drop out of high school, but sometimes the difference between dropping out and finishing is a boost.
I sort of got messed up into gangs, and this one girl named Maria, she just told me to get my things straight, and ever since then, she's been there for me.
10 real-life, at-risk students are filming their year, so you can see what it's really like trying to get through high school. Go to boostup.org to see their stories, and give someone you know a boost, so they can finish. High school is hard. Graduating is harder. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
That's the Big Dipper over there.
Yellow and blue make green.
Well, a cow pie really isn't a pie.
Come on, Riff! Open your eyes!
Remember, you're always teaching. Teach carefully. React with rage, and kids will learn it's okay to do the same. Keep your cool, and kids will do likewise. For advice, visit actagainstviolence.org. Brought to you by MetLife Foundation, National Association for the Education of Young Children, and the Ad Council.
In 1805, Lewis and Clark described in their journals a country teeming with wildlife.
Bison as far as the eye can see. Rivers churning with fish.
They wrote of scenes of endless beauty and of meeting more than 100 nations of American Indian whose lives were one with our environment. Now, imagine what Lewis and Clark and the American Indians they met would say if they walked the trail today. Would they be pleased?
There are herds of homes where the buffalo once roamed.
Or would they feel differently?
Something must be done to save what's left of this great place.
As we commemorate the Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, we encourage you to consider what's been lost and what we can do to preserve what's left of the trail that still winds through us all. Walk with Lewis and Clark and see what you discover at www.lewisandclark200.org.
This is a public service message of the National Council of the Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, the Missouri Historical Society, and the Ad Council.
New pitcher on the mound for the USF Dons, and also a new and a pinch hitter for the Tigers. We'll give you both those in a second. Here is Danny Mayer is the pinch hitter as he will face Brendan Jenkins. A righty-on-righty matchup. Mayer will have his first at-bat of the game, and means McKay Koisian, his day is done, and take on Brendan Jenkins as the first pitch is up high and outside, ball 1. Mayer from the senior. And it was funny that we were talking about him here just no more than a few minutes ago. We were talking about his wrist injury, and Lucas Halstead had the same situation. Well, Mayer's been able to recover a little bit more as that 2-1 is fouled right in front of me and hits the press box. Go to 1-1. So Mayer will step in from the right side batter's box. The right-handed pitcher Brendan Jenkins, 1.54 ERA is 40. This will be through 41 innings pitched. He's only given up 7 earned runs as that 1-1 is fouled back and it goes to 1-2. He's given up 2 home runs, 5 doubles, 40 strikeouts, but 7 earned runs. And he comes in inheriting 2 by Granoff. Jenkins from Pleasanton, California.
The Tigers 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Runner at second is Barry. At first, it's Halstead. Ramirez placed behind Halstead over at first. 1 and 2 to Mayer.
Might see a changeup or a curveball here. Jenkins tried to check swing, pulled it back in time to go to 2 and 2, and it was an outside pitch. As Mayer is susceptible to the breaking pitches, and something he's been working on all season long, and just really has not been able to keep in front of him.
Glover waits in the on-deck circle.
Mayer looks in, steps in from the right side.
Like Glover would hit for himself. I'm going to bat over there. Here's Mayer ready on the 2-2.
Jenkins looks in.
Long pause.
Here's that 2-2. That is lifted foul, and count remains the same.
Good pitch down low from Jenkins, and Mayer, a good job to just stay alive.
So Mayer was staying alive here with the umpire asked for more baseballs by the Dons, and Jenkins will come back up from the backside of the pitching mound. Will step on top and kicks a little dirt. Gets set in the stretch. Kind of on the third base side of the mound, and wants those signs again as he just gave the signal with his glove to kind of like as a circular motion. And here's the 2-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Danny Mayer is out on strikes with 1 away.
Batter is Glover.
And it'll bring up Keaton Glover. Glover had a base hit in the 5th inning.
As an RBI guy, a guy that can ride you deep. Tigers have a couple of guys with high home run total.
And if should Glover stay away from the double play or only accounts for 1 out, I'll bring up Kevin Sondry.
So there's Glover standing in now. It's 1 out, 2
So the first pitch to Glover, squaring around the bunt, pops it up. Catching is Jenkins. Everyone runs back to their bases, and that puts 2 away.
Pop out to the pitcher on a bunt drive.
Glover had a base hit off of a bunt in the
second baseman Kevin Sondry.
5th inning, but was unsuccessful in this one. And now it'll be up to Kevin Sondry here in the top of the 7th with 2 away.
Sondry, the leadoff man, 1 for 3.
Sondry had that base hit in the 5th. That was off the
4 for 12 here this weekend.
right side, down the right side line.
2 on, 2 out.
But here with 2 outs now, and the first pitch is right up the alley in the left side. Coming around to score is Barry, and he will be safe as the Tigers cut into this deficit. It is now 6-3.
It's a 6-3 ball game.
Runner still on first and second. Halstead moves over to second. Sondry, first pitch he saw, he liked. He took it all down to the left side, and now that leaves it up to Matt Tarantino. And we know Tarantino has good power. Coming in at 295
Matt Tarantino
in this at bat. 7 home runs on the season. Has driven in 29. As he looks in, Jenkins with the first pitch. That's outside, ball 1. Tarantino flew out to the left side, or to the first baseman in foul territory in the 1st inning. Struck out in the 3rd and grounded out into a double play in the 5th.
Fouled out to the first baseman in the 1st inning.
So Tarantino looking to
grounded into a 6-4-3 double play that brought it into the 5th.
work things into his favor here.
1 ball, no strikes to Tarantino.
As he looks in the 1-0. And that's outside, ball 2.
2-0. This is the part of the order where you don't want to start to fall behind. You got Tarantino, a 300 hitter. 3 right behind him. Their RBI guy with 52 runs driven in.
Tarantino digs in from the right side batter's box. The 2-0. And that's outside. Ball 3.
Ball that misses. And now 3-0. So now you're in position, if you walk in, you put the potential tying run in scoring position. Sorry, in first base on the base pass, you have to go ahead run at the plate.
And put Free in a spot here. It should Tarantino reach.
Tarantino waits on the 3-0.
The 3-0 by Jenkins. And that's ball 4. So off of 4 straight pitches, and that loads the bases. Now put a little bit of a pressure situation for this freshman, James Free.
James Free.
Catcher James Free.
14 doubles, 14 homers, and 52 RBIs. That's 52 RBIs.
Get you some scores here. Probably in the beginning part of the bottom of the inning. As this at bat here shows James Free. First pitch is down the right field line. That'll go foul towards Joe Slater. It goes to 0-1. On deck, Ryan Schultz. Schultz 3 for 3, so if Free can find a way to get on here. Could be a big inning for the Tigers. Tigers have scored 1 in this inning. It's 6-3 in favor of the Dons. As the 0-1, and that is lifted into left center field. Racing after it is going to fall for a base hit. 1 run will score, and it goes a little wide to third and backing it up, but Free will head on to second, and the Tigers cut into this lead, scoring 2. It's now 6-5.
And now it's a 1-run ball game, 6-5. We have a single on the.
So they'll count that as a base hit by Free, and then an error on the left fielder Bruce. That allowed Free to get on into second, and Tarantino to head into third.
First baseman Ryan Schultz.
And so now the young freshman delivers. Now we'll see if the junior from the College of Marin can do the same. The first pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Two runners in scoring position. Free at second, Tarantino at third for Schultz. The 0-1, swing and a miss, strike 3, or strike 2, excuse me. For the order for the Dons, it'll be Smoot, Morolio, and Perry.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
The 0-2 pitch coming up to Schultz.
Today, or even much this weekend.
That is outside, ball 1. Carter Hayes will be due up should Schultz find a way to reach.
3 for 3 today, 8 for 11 here this weekend.
Schultz had that hit in the 6th inning off the screen as that 1-2 is down the right side, and that will hook foul out of play. Count remains 1-2. 2 away here. Tigers have answered with 3 runs here in the 7th.
Started with 2 walks.
As they trail 6-5.
Dons had a 4-run lead coming into the inning. Trying to hang on and get a
Jenkins trying to
here on senior day. But now it's become very
end this inning now if he can. As he looks in for the 1-2. And that hit Schultz. Schultz got one on the shoulder, and he kind of flipped his bat.
Continues along for the third baseman, Carter Hayes.
And now that brings up Carter Hayes.
He's the 9th batter.
Well, Schultz reaches base for the 4th time today. There'll be a conversation on the mound here.
Tarantino at third, Free at second.
Jenkins
Schultz over at first, and the batter is Hayes.
making sure he's okay.
On the mound.
What's up, Sean?
USF 6 runs.
As assistant coach Joe Slater having a conversation with Schultz. Now the home plate umpire, Lesky, will go ahead and clear things up.
Led by the the Don's pitching coach, Matt Heiserman.
No, yeah, you're good.
Third baseman Carter Hayes.
And now I'll bring up Carter Hayes.
I'll order the workhorse tomorrow after you do it.
Hayes is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Yeah, just
Tigers 3 runs in
just
the
let me
inning.
know when you finish.
We're in the top half of the 7th.
So Hayes in a good spot here for the freshman. Getting a pressure situation here as the first pitch is called for a strike. Young freshman third baseman batting 122 on the season. Looking for a base hit here if he can get one with runners full of Tigers, bases full of Tigers. That pitch is into left field. Racing after it is the left fielder, and he leaps and makes the catch, does Bruce, saving runs as Hayes gave it a ride and missed a double by probably about 2 inches off of the glove of Bruce. We head down to the bottom of the 7th. The Tigers trail 6-5 on the Tiger Digital Network.
And now from the finest urban college ballpark in the country, it's 7th inning stretch.
Some look up to the man of steel and others follow the lines in the web. But I look up to my real life icon, my dad, and calling him anything less than great would be misguided. In his warm arms, I confided all of my fears. And as my time to rear others grows near, I'm reminded that women marry men just like their fathers. And I hope that's true. Anything less, might as well not even bother.
A message from the National Fatherhood Initiative, the Ad Council, and this radio station. Visit fatherhood.org for more information. Have you been a dad today?
Everybody needs clean water, especially Ariel, the Little Mermaid, and all her friends under the sea.
Flounder, hurry up.
And no matter where you live, what you do above the ocean affects all the living creatures below it.
Scuttle, look what we found.
Human stuff, huh? To keep our oceans clean, recycle, and dispose of trash properly.
Isn't it fantastic?
To learn what you can do, go to keepoceansclean.org. This has been a message from Environmental Defense, the National Marine Sanctuary Foundation, NOAA, and the Ad Council.
Pacific Tigers, Danny Mayer will stay in right field here as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning at Benedetti Diamond. Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here as the Tigers trailing 6-5. Ricky Reynoso coming in for another inning of work. He's at 93 pitches, so you can say that he's going to be limited on what he can do. 6 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, only 1 run being earned, has struck out 4 as the first pitch misses low for ball 1 to Alan Smoot. Smoot is 0 for 2, but has reached base twice. It'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Smoot, Morello, and Perry. As the 1-0 is set by Reynoso, and that is up high. Go to 2-0.
Reynoso giving some new life now, the Tigers pitcher.
Would assume that depending on what happens with Smoot here, we'll decide on where Reynoso goes.
Reynoso 2-0.
2-0 is in there for strike 1.
On the inside corner, 2-1.
Reynoso, a left-hander. The 2-1 is now 3-1.
3-1.
Really takes his time at on the mound.
The Don 7.
We wanted to get you those scores here as we will in the standings on the West Coast Conference. Reynoso now looks in. Here's that 3-1. That is well low and outside, ball 4. So a leadoff walk. And quickly with the West Coast Conference. San Diego beating Pepperdine 5-2. Loyola Marymount 11-5 over Portland. Our score here 6-5. San Francisco beating Pacific 6-5. And St. Mary's beating Santa Clara 7-3.
The cleanup man, Dominic Morolio.
And Dominic Morolio will step in. Before that, we will have a pitcher's mound visit with Free and
with a sacrifice fly RBI.
Reynoso.
Right now sits as the Don
That was a quick meeting as
producer with 40 runs driven in.
Free will go ahead and step in
First base has
behind home plate.
Matt Sinatra has 30
now that's
runs driven in. Now a visit to the mound.
going to make another visit now with head coach Mike New.
Down 6 runs, 8
Gets the whole infield in.
Tigers 5 runs.
Have a conversation probably to get the complete defensive lineup set up. I would be surprised if
6 runs in the third.
and that may be the end of Reynoso. We're going to find out here.
Second and 3 in the 7th.
Reynoso is at 98 pitches.
If we can catch you up again on the West Coast Conference score.
And that'll do it. So Reynoso leaves here. He'll be responsible for the runner on first. And we will get you that pitching change here in a moment. Tigers trail 6-5 on the Tiger Digital Network.
Some people still don't believe that secondhand smoke is dangerous. This is Scott Bakula. Did you know that just being around someone who smokes can cause severe lung problems, heart disease, and cancer? But there is something you can do about it. Call for a free booklet from the Will Rogers Institute. It clearly explains the proven risks of secondhand smoke and the ways you can avoid exposure. Toll free 1-877-957-7575. Because secondhand smoke is dangerous. Believe it.
Hi there, this is Sammy Hagar here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. Now, style's a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody else's business. Please plan ahead, designate before you celebrate, because friends do not let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
That's the Big Dipper over there.
Yellow and blue make green.
Well, a cow pie really isn't a pie.
Come on, Riff! Open your eyes!
Remember, you're always teaching. Teach carefully. React with rage, and kids will learn it's okay to do the same. Keep your cool, and kids will do likewise. For advice, visit actagainstviolence.org. Brought to you by MetLife Foundation, National Association for the Education of Young Children, and the Ad Council.
In a world where your tires are your only connection to the road, one man, 4 tires, free air. An epic battle against underinflation, tire damage, and even tire failure. In the ultimate fight for properly inflated tires, the warrior gives his heart, his soul, to keep those he loves safe on the road. Tires will inflate. Money will be saved. A message from the Rubber Manufacturers Association.
Vince Arobio will step in here for the Pacific Tigers as they trail 6-5 with a runner on first. That puts Ricky Reynoso's day done, but he's still responsible for the runner on first after the walk to Smoot. Dominic Morolio will step in to face the senior who leads the program of the Tigers in saves. Vince Arobio, the senior, steps in at 4-4 on the season with 7 saves and 39 innings pitched. The first pitch is on the inside corner, called for a strike. Morolio kind of had a shy grin on his face as he kind of stepped out of the batter's box towards the umpire. And Arobio, 39 innings pitched, 39 hits, 21 runs, only 18 earned, has struck out 42 opposing batters. As he looks in with the 0-1, the righty in the dirt. Wanted a snap throw, did James Free, but Free pulled it back, and count just goes to 1-1.
Smoot is the runner over at first base.
Smoot has 4 stolen bases on the season.
Smoot's 4 for 5 on the base pass. Walks out to his lead, held on by.
Has a little bit of a lead. Here's the 1-1, misses low, 2-1. Actually, that was probably more inside than it was low.
I'd love to get a run or 2 back here. They gave up 3 in the top half of the inning. USF 6.
Morolio had a double in the 4th, had a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. Also popped out to the second baseman in the 2nd.
Morolio waits on the 2-1.
The 2-1 by Arobio is swung on and line foul down the and out of play. And it goes to 2-2. For the Tigers, will be 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Will be Barry Halstead and Mayer. Not a bad batting order in the bottom or the top half of the inning for the top 8. Robio looks in. Here's the 2-2. That is low and goes to 3-2.
Michael Perry waits in the on-deck circle. He's had a great weekend over here against the
Smoot getting his lead here. He stands at first. Morolio steps in on the right side batter's box. Robio in the stretch. Runner goes. Line down the center field. That'll drop for a base hit into right center. And Morolio will be in with 2 for 3. And heading over to third on the hit and run is Smoot.
Business runners at the corners, nobody out. And the
second baseman, Michael Perry.
I'll bring up Michael Perry. Perry 1 for 3 today, batting .313 on the season.
Perry 1 for 3 today. 7 for 12 in the series. So he's had the kind of weekend that Schultz has had.
So Perry will step in from the right side batter's box.
First and third and nobody out. Both teams have wrapped out 9 hits now today.
Perry, the junior from Alameda, California.
A fielder's choice and a pop out.
As the first pitch is low for ball 1.
Low to him, 1-0. Perry came into the ball game at .313 for the year. Now scored 40 runs on the year. Only Sinatra has scored more.
So Robio taking his time as he steps in here, and
Sinatra scored 47.
Perry is ready to go. He's swinging the bat a few times. There's a 1-0, and that's fouled back.
Wicked cut. Perry just missed it. Right back.
And that thump you heard was to my right just a little bit.
1 ball, 1 strike.
A little tinkle.
Feeling a little squishy by
He was not cheated on that swing.
Nevertheless, it goes to 1-1.
Runners at the corner.
Robio deals, and that is swung on towards the second baseman, Sondri. Sondri will throw it to short, throw on to first, and that'll be a double play. But on the play, 1 run will score, and the lead increases 7-5 in favor of the Dons.
Will not be an RBI.
I was listening to some of the guys to my right here. Is that pitch or that foul ball that landed right in front of us, smacked hard off the concourse. They were all a little startled. At least we're all awake here. So
first baseman.
we'll bring up Manny Ramirez Jr. as the bases are clear. Ramirez Jr. is already made his feeling be known as he's 1 for 3 and had a home run in the 3rd inning. That pretty much capped the 3rd inning. So the first pitch to him is tried to hold up the swing to Ramirez Jr. and he was not able to as they went around. It goes to 0-1. So the Tigers once again will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. It'll be Barry, Halstead, and Mayer.
That combination led to a 3-run Tiger 7.
The 0-1 is swung on right up the middle towards Tarantino, but it'll be past Tarantino's glove and into center field for a base hit. So he's 2 for 4 today, is Ramirez Jr., and they'll bring up Dan James.
And then we'll step the Don's right fielder, Dan James.
The right fielder 1 for 3 today.
James.
James is 1 for 3. He doubled.
He had that double in the 3rd inning.
Back in the 3rd.
That was in the left center.
Also popped out and grounded out.
1 for 3. Here's the first pitch, and that swung on and lifted into center field. Glover will have a little bit of time, and as he had to back up just a few steps, and that'll end the inning. So the Tigers allow 1, but we head to the top of the 8th. The Tigers trail 7-5 on the Tiger Digital Network.
2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
We go to the 8th inning.
There's 7 full innings of play. It's Don 7.
What does freedom of speech mean to me?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Freedom of speech means I can speak out against the majority.
It means I can express my opinion freely.
It's the American dream.
It's the First Amendment. It means everyone has a voice.
I guess freedom of speech is more than a right. It's a responsibility.
A message from the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and this station.
Statistics say that 4 out of 10 high school students will drop out of high school, but sometimes the difference between dropping out and finishing is a boost.
I sort of got messed up into gangs, and this one girl named Maria, she just told me to get my things straight, and ever since then, she's been there for me.
10 real-life, at-risk students are filming their year, so you can see what it's really like trying to get through high school. Go to boostup.org to see their stories, and give someone you know a boost, so they can finish. High school is hard. Graduating is harder. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Top 8 here at Benedetti Diamond. The Tigers trailing 7-5. Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here. We'll have these 6, 7, and 8 hitters. It'll be Barry, Halstead, and Mayer. That was the inning. That was the start of where the Tigers were able to get 3 in the 7th.
One game above the 500 mark. 28 and 28.
The Tigers look to have something similar here.
Tigers with 2 runs in the second.
It's the first pitch is chopped foul.
Foul ball chopped at home plate, 0-1.
Count goes to 0-1. San Diego beating Pepperdine 6-2. Loyola Marymount 13-5 over Portland. St. Mary's 11-3 over Santa Clara. The 0-1 in there for strike 2.
Letters 0-2. Pitch from Jenkins. Barry is 1 for 2, a single, a walk. He has scored a couple of runs today.
Barry 1 for 2 had that base hit in the second as that pitch misses low and outside. Ball 1. Go to 1 and 2. He had a walk in the 7th. Later came around to score. Thanks to, I believe that was Kevin Sondry that had that base hit.
Part of the 5th inning. So thank you to Scott Sidwell.
The 1-2. And that is lifted into center field. Racing after it is the center fielder. And it's over his head to Sinatro. Barry on his horse. He will head into second with a stand-up double. And Lucas Halstead will step in.
Apply pressure on Jenkins here in the 8th inning. They get the tying run to home plate.
So the tying run at home plate is Lucas Halstead. Halstead has 1 for 2. He had that base hit. That was in the second inning where he hit a base, or he had a base knock right up the middle off of Grant Goodman's glove that knocked Goodman's glove off his hand. Drove in Barry as the first pitch is right at the knees for strike 1. That drove in Barry and Schultz at that time. So the 0-1 by Jenkins.
0-1 swing and a foul. That was a good catch by Halstead. He just missed one.
I have bad reactions.
0-2.
That one went right at me. So
With a walk and a run scored.
So it goes to 0-2. So I no longer have to use the restroom anymore.
Straight away for Halstead. Let's have some room down towards the left field.
Halstead in the right side. The 0-2 is outside, ball 1.
Wanted that one just a tad outside.
Jenkins kind of looked at that and thought he was going to get strike 3, but it goes to 1-2.
Halstead waits on the 1-2.
Halstead 1 for 2, walked in the 7th. Later came around to score.
Jenkins pausing.
Jenkins looks the runner at second. Here's that 1-2. And that is lifted into right center field. Racing after it is Sinatro. That'll be towards the wall, and him leaping and making the catch is Sinatro. So Sinatro has been active here in this inning.
Fly out to center and 1 out.
As Halstead is retired, and I'll bring up Danny Mayer. So Sinatro had a good play there. So a couple of plays. Bruce had a great grab as Carter Hayes drove one to left field. And Danny Mayer will step in kind of weird to see him batting in the 8th spot, but he came in as a pinch hitter for McKay Koisian. Batting .243, 12 home runs, and that'll be paused here for a moment due to the fact that Jenkins is going to get a visit by Meroglio.
Tigers have played at 5. USF with that big 6-run third.
Tigers trailing 7-5 after the 3-run inning in the 7th for the Tigers was able to close that gap. The Dons were able to answer back with 1 in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll actually put a mound visit now by another mound visit, I should say, by the coaching staff.
Long walk to the mound here for Nino Giratano.
It'll be Nino Giratano over there to have a visit. And that'll be it. So we'll give you the announcement of the new pitcher when we come back. Tigers trailing 7-5, a runner on scoring position when we come back here on the Tiger Digital Network.
How can we help prepare our kids for the future? Hi, this is Roger McGuinn. These days, our children face challenges unimaginable to us only a generation ago. We adults need to help our kids find something in school that really sparks their interest and keeps them involved. If that something happens to be music, the child will benefit in so many ways. Playing music in school is a great way to make friends. Studies are showing that kids involved in music are less likely to get into trouble. And kids who studied music find science and math easier to grasp. They tend to score higher on SATs. It has something to do with something called spatial IQ. So get your kids involved with school music. It's a great way to help prepare them for life.
A PSA brought to you by MENC, the National Association for Music Education, and the National Anthem Project, the campaign to restore America's voice through music education. Music, part of a sound education.
My hero doesn't wear a cape or have superpowers. She doesn't slay dragons or kill wizards. No one wants my hero's autograph. She never goes to Hollywood parties, and she definitely doesn't have a star on the Walk of Fame.
My hero doesn't try to sell me soda, candy bars, cereal, or cheeseburgers.
You won't hear my hero song on the radio. He doesn't have a crew, bling bling, or a mansion.
You can't buy my hero's makeup line, handmade purses, or designer baby clothes.
My hero didn't win the pennant. She can't do a 360 dunk, and there's no way she'll score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Some of New York's most admired figures are the city's public school teachers. Just ask one of the millions of kids who learn from these heroes every day. For more information on the most rewarding job you can imagine, visit teachnyc.net. Join New York's brightest. Teach NYC. A public service announcement brought to you by the New York City Department of Education, the Appleseed Foundation, and the Ad Council.
New pitcher on the mound for the USF Dons is it'll be the right-handed pitcher Joey Carney with the runner on second for the Tigers. Carney, 3.09 ERA. He's 3-2 on the season, 3 saves in 32 innings. He's given up 13 runs, 11 of those runs would be earned, while striking out 35 opposing batters, and he is going to be facing a senior-on-senior matchup, as it'll be Danny Mayer to step in with a runner on second. On second currently is Blake Berry. He had that double to lead things off, and then a hit that was taken away by Halstead. Sinatro made a leaping grab at the wall, which if he would have missed that, could have been running for a while, as the first pitch to Danny Mayer is a curveball in there for strike one. Mayer 0 for 1 today, struck out in relief in the 7th.
Mention these home run totals.
Has 12 home runs on the season, has driven in 30. The 0-1 is missed outside, ball one. That looked like a little bit of a slider. Way it kind of cut across the corner.
Up near the top, Ben Fisher from Eastern Kentucky, and Nico Olzer from Morehead State.
So a 1-1 pitch coming up to Danny Mayer. The Tigers trail 7-5. That is another curveball on the inside corner for strike two. 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Tigers. 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Dons. Danny Mayer now looking at a 1-2 pitch with one away. Once again, Barry on second.
Carney peers in, runner at second. Barry gets the lead.
Morello setting up. The 1-2. That is grounded foul.
14 home runs, which is pretty impressive total, but we need 10 more to tie the leader in the country. A couple of guys have hit 24 homers this year. Pretty impressive when you consider most college baseball schedules are around 60 ball games.
So Mayer will step back in on the right side batter's box.
Got guys out there hitting home runs every other day.
Batting .243. Looks in. Here's the 1-2 to Mayer. That is lifted into center field. Racing after it is Sinatro. He'll have enough room right at the warning track. He'll make the catch. And there are two away. Barry will head back to second.
So both Halstead
and I'll bring up Keaton Glover.
The deep ride to center field. That's the deepest part of the ballpark out there.
Center fielder Keaton Glover.
Out just to the right of center field.
So with this at bat, that would put the top of the batting order for the Tigers in the ninth inning.
So now 2 down, back around to the number 9 hitter, Glover. Glover is 1 for 3 today.
Glover 1 for 3, had that reach down the base hit. Well, actually, it was a bunt single. As he looks in, here's the first pitch, and that's inside and high for ball 1. For the Dons, it'll be the 8-9-1 spot. It'll be Ping, Bruce, and Sinatro scheduled up. A righty and 2 lefties. Barry's still standing on second. He had that leadoff double. And the Tigers have so far not been able to bring him in. The 1-0 is on the inside. An off-speed pitch that just hits on the inside corner to go to 1-1. So Kearney will look in here as the right-handed batter Glover steps in.
Here's the 1-1. Kearney long pause.
The 1-1 on the way. That is up high. Looks like a breaking pitch that just never broke. It goes to 2-1. Glover had that pop-up bunt in the 7th inning that went straight to the pitcher. Actually, more to the pitcher's right. The 2-1. That is called for a strike. It hits the corner. So Glover now needing to choke up on the bat here a little bit. So he's looking at a 2-2 pitch coming up. And Barry's still standing at second.
8 and 9 batters, and then around to the top of the order. Each team with 10 hits today.
So here's that 2-2. That just fouled. I think that hit the home plate umpire.
Got a piece of it.
May have hit the home plate umpire on his leg, but the way that he kind of reacted made me think that.
Glover was 2 for 3 on Friday. 0 for 3 yesterday. 3 for 9 in the series.
So here's that 2-2 by Kearney. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Tigers get that leadoff double but aren't able to do anything with it. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Tigers trail 7-5 on the Tiger Digital Network.
One hit, no errors.
My name's Rachel, and I'm 10 years old. I like riding my bike, playing soccer, and in 8 years, I'll be an alcoholic. I'll start drinking in middle school, just at parties. My friends will drink, so I will too.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults.
My parents won't really know what's going on yet. I mean, I'll do okay in school, but when I drink, I'll do some things I don't really want to do. So by the time my parents talk to me about it, alcohol won't be my only problem.
Alcohol affects their judgment and their future, so start talking.
before they start drinking.
My parents won't believe it could happen to me.
For more information on teens and alcohol, and to learn what you can do, visit the web at stopalcoholabuse.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Ad Council, and this station.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Benedetti Diamond, as the Tigers will bring out Vince Arobio for another inning of work. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Dons. It'll be Ping, Bruce, and Sinatro. Ping had that walk in the third as well as an error and reached on an error in the third. Slater scored on that from that error to really show what the 6-run third was all about. I'll give it a chance here. I want to give you the stats, the final stats for Ricky Reynoso. He went through 6, gave up 7 runs, 2 of those runs being earned, walked 2 and struck out 4. Did give up that home run to Manny Ramirez Jr. So the first pitch by Arobio is on the outside corner, misses for ball 1. Be a pinch hitter.
Helen's hitting .311.
Riley Helen
13 runs driven in.
Steps in from the left side. The 1-0 by Arobio is low for ball 2.
Helen, a sophomore from Camarillo out in Southern California. In the series, 2 for 6 with a run scored.
Helen was 0 for 3 on Friday, and
2 for 3 yesterday.
the
Fouls this one on
2-0 is fouled down the left side. Will not be enough room. It goes to 2 and 1.
And 2 and 1 now to Helen. Helen, then Bruce, and Sinatro.
On Saturday, Helen
So with the left-handed pitch hitting Helen,
was 2 for 3.
right-hander Arobio on the hill.
As we look in here at a 2-1 pitch coming up.
Lefty against the right-handed throwing Arobio, and then Giratano, to get to the 4th batter of the inning, is a switch hitter, and then Smoot bats left-handed.
Helen, the switch hitting batter, steps in from the left side. The 2-1 is grounded over towards the second baseman, Sondri. Sondri gathers it, throw on the first, and that is out number 1.
Helen grounds out the second. 2 for 7 in the series.
Left fielder, Harrison Bruce.
I'll bring up Harrison Bruce, left-handed batter. 1 for 3 today. Had that base hit in the 3rd inning, and since then is flew out to left field and center field in his next at-bats.
7 in the series is Bruce this weekend. The left-handed batter against the right.
Lefty taking on Vince Arobio, the right-handed pitcher. Here's the first pitch. That's on the outside corner for strike 1.
0-1. Well, if you're beginning to look ahead to the Tiger 9th inning, they will have the top of the order. They'll get a chance to get free up again. If they can get one guy on, they could bring the tying run to the plate. If
The 0-1 by Arobio. That is fouled down the left side, and count goes to 0-2. Arobio finishing up his senior year here at Pacific, and 7 saves on the season. Now over at 23 saves in his career. The 0-2 is caught him looking. Curveball that went on the outside corner, and there are 2 away.
Center fielder.
Brings up Matt Sinatro. Sinatro 2 for 4.
the order, and the leadoff man, Matt Sinatro.
Sinatro now at 316, came in at 312, so
2 for 4 today.
finished his senior year on a great season as the first pitch is fouled behind us to go to 0-1. 6 seniors on this Dons lineup. Sinatro, Giratano, Smoot, Ramirez Jr., James, and Bruce.
In the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Looking in is Arobio. Here's the 0-1 and a swing and a miss for strike 2. An off-speed pitch that put Sinatra on his front foot.
Sandry, Tarantino, and Free for the Tigers in the ninth.
In the top half of the inning, top 9 will be Sandry, Tarantino, and Free. Two away here. Here's that 0-2 by Robio. Check swing in the dirt. And James Free was able to gather it back. And the count goes to 1-2. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-2 pitch coming up by Robio. And caught him looking, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts by Robio. And a 1-2-3 inning for the Dons. So we head to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Tigers as they trail 7-5 here on the Tiger Digital Network.
To the ninth with the Dons leading the Tigers.
I know, being a college freshman is supposed to be tough. But let me tell you about my schedule this semester. All 18 credits. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have American Lit at 8:05 a.m. And then I only have 15 minutes to get to my 9:15 Ethics and Value Theory class, all the way across campus. Then in the afternoon, Calculus 1. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have 2 lectures that go through lunch, Sociology of Families, then Intro to Microbiology, pre-med. And finally, I have a double lab that ends around 9 p.m. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you.
If a kid will do whatever it takes to get through college, what will you do to send her there? Please support the United Negro College Fund and call 1-800-332-UNCF, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A public service brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Here we are in the top of the 9th inning. Jeff Dominic with you here as the Tigers trail 7-5 in the final West Coast Conference game of the season for the Tigers. And the USF Dons leading 7-5. Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you all very much for joining us here as we get you set for the top of the order. It'll be the leadoff batter, Kevin Sandry, Matt Tarantino, and James Free. Should anybody reach, would be the hot hitter, Ryan Schultz. Schultz finishing up his junior year. Right now it would be at 3:02. So Sandry steps in. The first pitch is a curveball inside for strike 1 on the inner half, right above the knees. Count goes to 0-1.
With a 2-run lead here in the 9th inning. Trying to win the series and finish the year at 20.
There's going to be a change in the outfield.
And now a defensive change made by
So it looks like
Giratano. He waits till the 9th inning starts to make the change.
number 10,
Roman is out on into center field.
Bill Roman will go into center field. Moving over to right, I believe was Giratano.
These changes for the Dons.
A double check on that.
Center field number 10, Tyler Villaroman.
Tyler Villaroman now your new center fielder.
Sinatra's on left.
Sinatra moves to left.
Here's Bruce over into right field.
Replacing Harrison Bruce.
And Bruce now in right field.
Bruce is in right field. Sinatra's in left. Villaroman in center.
So here's the 0-1, and that is grounded straight to Perry. Perry will glove it, throw on to first, and there's one away.
In the 9th, the leadoff out. One down, the batter is the shortstop.
So Sandry's
Matt Tarantino.
day sounds like it's done, and it'll be Matt Tarantino. Tarantino 0 for 3. Has been flirting around 300 pretty much the last half of the season. A kid that started at 150 in the first half of the season, now ballooned his average to 295. The first pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1.
Now 13-3 in the bottom of the 8th. San Diego in front 8-2, but unless the Broncos have a 10-run 9th inning in their hip pocket, The Gales will go in as the number.
The 0-1 by Kearney is outside. Ball 1. It goes to 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike to Tarantino.
San Diego beat Pepperdine today. Loyola Marymount beats Portland.
Gonzaga.
The San Diego scores 8-2. Loyola Marymount 16-5. And St. Mary's still leading 13-3 to Santa Clara. So 1-1 is knocked foul and it'll go to 1-2.
And the Gales would be a couple games back. San Diego would also be 18-9. But St. Mary's gets the tiebreaker in the head-to-head series. The Gales.
So Tarantino looking in. He walked in the 7th inning.
From San Diego.
It's Kearney on the first base side of the mound. Here's the 1-2, and that is lifted down the left field line.
And foul. Left field line, reaching, out of play.
And it goes just out of play.
Could not get to it as he tried to reach into the Tiger bullpen.
Sinatra tried to give it a run, went to the Tiger bullpen. Count remains 1-2. Tarantino was all the way around second by the time that was already that was called.
Take a deep breath. After all that running. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the ninth.
So Kearney starts back up. Here's the 1-2 by Kearney. A swing and a miss, strike 3, and Tarantino frustrated himself about that one as it looked like another breaking pitch, and that'll bring up James Free.
Catcher James Free.
Brings up the Pacific catcher, James Free.
The young freshman 1 for 4 on the day is now at 352. Had a base hit in the 7th, drove in 2 runs at 3-run 7th inning.
With 14 home runs, but he bats with the bases empty here in the 9th inning.
So Free looks in from the left side batter's box. The first pitch is swung on line to the third baseman Smoot. Smoot grabs it, and that'll end the game. So the Tigers fall this one 7-5. As Free gave it a good shot, just missed, but Smoot was able to get small and was able to end it. So final score for the final time, the Tigers lose this one 7-5. 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors to the USF Dons, and the Pacific Tigers 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. And really the errors in the 6th is what caused this game.
That's the ball game. The final score
So
today.
the Tigers
Here on Senior Day, the San Francisco
move to
Giants 7 and the Pacific Tigers 5.
6
San Francisco Athletics,
and 21 in West Coast Conference play, 18 and 34. The Dons, they move to 29 and 28. They get a winning season, go to 11 and 16 in West Coast Conference play. Quickly, while we have a quick second, BYU and Gonzaga tied at top of the conference. Loyola Marymount looks like they're going to win their game, and they're going to be now 20 and 7, so a 3-way tie. And St. Mary's
thanks for joining us all season long.
has won their game, and they now are 18 and 9,
See you next year for the
and San Diego is 18 and 9 as well. And it looks like St. Mary's, due to the tiebreaker,
Congratulations to the
will
senior.
go into the West Coast Conference playoffs. So with that being said, the final score for the final time, the Tigers lose this one 7-5 to the USF Dons. For the entire Pacific Tigers Athletic Department, thank you all very much for this whole season. And the Communications Department over at Pacific, thank you all for allowing this to get set up. Actually, we'll also thank the USF Dons, the University of San Francisco Dons Athletic Department too, for allowing us to come on down here. The winning pitcher, Grant Goodman, 4-4 on the season. Ricky Reynoso, 5-7. For the entire departments, as we just mentioned, I'm Jeff Dominic saying have a great rest of your afternoon until next season.
Thank our broadcast crew today, our executive producer.
Hi, my name is Aaron, and I'm a survivor of mannequinism. Mannequinism is basically when you turn into a hard plastic shell. They say it's from not being politically active. For me, it started when I didn't register to vote, and then I stopped volunteering, and before I knew it, I wasn't doing anything. And that's when I found the first sign. A small, discolored hard patch of plastic on my right shoulder. I thought it would go away on its own, but it didn't. It kept spreading. And when I could no longer conceal it with a t-shirt, I knew I had to see the doctor. He said I had this early stage of mannequinism, and then my only hope was to get involved, even if it was something simple. So I began reading the newspaper and instantly got feeling back in my arm. I guess you could say I'm living proof you can fight mannequinism.
Protect yourself from mannequinism. Log on to fightmannequinism.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi everyone, my name's Emily Simons. I'm on the women's basketball team here at University of the Pacific, and you're listening to